紹介いたします。プレートアンパイア真鍋、塁審ファーストベース水口、セカンドベース梅木、サードベース芦原。なお公式記録員は小熊。以上です。
それでは試合に先立ちまして始球式を行います。本日の始球式は小学部鹿児島育英中学校野球部今村敦子さんです。それではよろしくお願いします。
And with that first pitch, Pacific League fans, we are alive in Kagoshima, watching the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks host the Orix Buffaloes. I am Matt Seivert, and today I am joined in the virtual booth by my friends Gabe Lerman. How are you doing, Gabe?
I have done nothing but teleport bread for the last 24 hours.
Well, that sounds kind of interesting. Also joined in us in the virtual booth today is our good old friend Jimbo Bernicki. Jimbo, how's it going for you?
I'm doing terrific. I have no idea what teleporting bread is. I don't know if that's a euphemism for something, but it really threw me off.
Oh, come on. Like, nobody's played Team Fortress 2 and seen the shorts?
Oh, my God. Not in like 20 years. Yeah.
It's going to be one of those games, folks, from the tip of Kyushu around the world. Oh, so glad to be back on the virtual booth. It's a shame we couldn't watch yesterday's game, but hey, weather looks perfect here.
Hey, I mean, I will complain about not being able to do yesterday's game because, as we alluded to many times, hopefully you've checked out the podcast, but if you haven't, Kumamoto was where I lived for 5 years in Japan. So I was looking forward to doing that game, but the weather didn't cooperate. So here we are. It's bright and sunny in Kagoshima. It's going to be a wonderful game, and I'm looking forward to it. You're looking at your starting pitcher for the Hawks, Naoyuki Uwasawa. He's doing a pretty good job this season. His most recent starts, he's been improving greatly. What else do we have on pitch mix for him, Gabe?
You're going to see that high spin rate fastball, above average around 2,800 RPMs, topping at 94 miles per hour, along with a slider, cutter, curve, fork, changeup, and two-seamer mix. Really throws the kitchen sink at folks, and he especially owns these Orix Buffaloes. Between 2018 and 2022, he racked up 11 consecutive winning decisions against them. This is the last pitcher the Orix Buffaloes wanted to see.
Well, they're going to get to see him now regardless. Stepping in is our leadoff batter for this contest. Playing third today, Taishi Hirooka. And the first true pitch of the game is a strike, although we'll call the pitch from the Kagoshima local kid a very good one as well.
Yeah, I got to be honest, with the game starting outside and then we seeing him, I was like, are we not watching the right game? Who is this? What's going on?
And it's true that in Kumamoto yesterday, they were planning to do something with local talent as well. I don't have our notes on that because we had to change them last minute for rain reasons. 1-1 count. Hit into left field, and it gets down for a base hit. He's turning well around first base, but decides to retreat because it is handled by Yuto Akihiro out in left.
I was a bit surprised by him not making it down to second there. It seemed like a really easy stand-up double, but I guess left fielder's got a bit of cannon on him.
To be fair, Akihiro has been touted as the Shin Godzilla because of his previous team and comparisons to legendary Japanese baseball player Hideki Matsui. So quickly going some action here today. Here comes Ryoma Nishikawa. Now, Nishikawa, I do know, is the league leader in doubles right now. You see he's hitting about 289. He even has 3 stolen bases thus far. That's hit well into right field. That ball is sailing out of here. Wow, I didn't expect to do the home run call in the first 2 batters, but there we go. A 2-run shot for Ryoma Nishikawa, and very quickly, Orix is on the board, 2-0.
Given that last year Nishikawa put up a 294 slugging percentage, It's good to see him swing the bat hard and attacking Uesawa's fastballs early in the count. Well, now, that's new.
That is his 100th?
1,000th
hit. There we go. 1,000th hit. So congratulations to Ryoma Nishikawa for the milestone. It's his second home run of the season.
And he absolutely got all of that. That was an absolute moonshot out to right field there. To Gabe's point, I guess the Buffs really did want to see Uesawa here tonight.
Looping off-speed pitch into the strike zone for strike one. Batting third today. Normally he's lower in the order, but shortstop Kotaro Kurebayashi. And he slugs it. A pop-up into center field. Ukyo Shuto on the run. Akihiro. It's going to be Shuto for the first out of the inning.
And as we're just getting started here, we have some of our fans coming in. Great to see you here, Corey, and Roderick Tillman here as always. Very happy to see everyone. Hopefully the other regulars come on in soon. It'll be nice to see everyone on a Saturday instead of our usual Friday slot.
I think that Orix is seeing Uesawa really well in this first inning here. It's kind of interesting, but that's been indicative of their season this year. I mean, they are very strong. Uesawa delivers to Yuma Tongu and gets a strike.
And East Bay with a good question. Is this our first dirt infield game on PLTV live? Well, the YouTube streams. I think maybe.
Possibly, unless we did like interleague at, say, Koshien or something, but I don't know.
No, this is our first one, and also our first ever countryside game. That's one of the reasons why we booked this weekend in our schedule, because Kumamoto and Kagoshima do not normally see play. You'll also notice the SoftBank Hawks wearing their road uniforms just for funsies, and in part because every single person in attendance got a free one as a giveaway.
Oh, that's nice. And some of you who don't know, the MPB does these things where they do games outside of the usual home stadiums to give fans around the country who don't always get to see their home team play a little treat at a live stadium game.
Swung over the top of that curveball. It is quickly 2-2. It's also worth noting, Jimbo, that not every prefecture has a local team, but I'm pretty sure within like a 2 or 3 year span that NPB manages to hit all 47 somehow or other. And that's a pop fly on the infield. Racing in for it. And calling off the catcher is first baseman Akira Nakamura, who handles it for the second out of the inning. So just as quickly as they got 2 runs on the board, there are now 2 outs. But coming up, we have the designated hitter with the very distinctive leg kick, Tomoya Mori.
He had a delayed start to the season due to injury, but he's clearly healthy now. I always find it interesting when Mori and Yamakawa play each other. Yamakawa, the DH for the Hawks, because those two were teammates on the most recent pennant-winning Cebu Lions clubs back in 2018 and 2019.
You know, I was thinking to myself the other day with how well the Lions have been playing. Could you imagine if they still had Mori, Yamakawa, and Asamura from back in the day? They'd be incredible.
Rounded down the first baseline. Nakamura makes a diving stop and flips it to Uesawa. A 3-1 put out and a pretty sparkling defensive play will go ahead and end the top of the first inning. Orix strikes very early thanks to a 2-run home run from Ryoma Nishikawa. And now they'll take the field for the first time.
Akira Nakamura won 4 Golden Gloves at first base in a row from 2020 to 2023. You can see why.
And I see Shohei Ohtani there.
Yeah, I was going to mention this on the podcast at some point. The American baseball experience coming to Mizuho Pepe Dome during Interleague. But I always I think of it as we want to go watch the Japanese baseball for the Japanese baseball experience. And they clearly want to take in the majors as well.
But
Both
so
involve staying up to ridiculous hours.
what is the American baseball experience like? Are they going to live stream a game, or are they like what's the
$30 for
promotion there?
parking.
And we have Corey asking here as a Cubs fan, the Hawks pitcher has a similar leg kick to Shota Imanaga. Sorry. Is that a popular move in Japan? I would say so. I think the leg kick is a pretty common staple among pitchers in Japan.
It's a way to generate a lot more lower body movement and strength. Given that some pitchers tend to be smaller in stature, it's an excellent way to get some extra velo.
Yuhei Soltani taking the mound. He's 4-2 on the season thus far in 7 starts with an ERA of 2.05.
Last start, though, was his best. Last Sunday went the distance against the Lions. 9 innings, only 1 run with 6 strikeouts.
What else we have on pitch mix for Soltani here, Gabe?
Soltani is going to throw from that 3/4 arm slot, primarily a 3-pitch mix of fastball with a lot of run, sitting around 92, forkball, slider, his most effective pitch. He has a cutter, but he doesn't throw it that frequently.
His first pitch to Ukyo Shuto is low for ball 1. Good to see Shuto back at the top of the lineup. Obviously, he was missing time with that right fibula fracture, but he's been back for the last couple of games and rounding into game form nicely. Looks at strike 1 there. Against Soltani himself, he's lifetime 3 for 6. And swings that, hits a foul.
The last thing Soltani needs is to allow Shuto on base. 2 stolen base titles, led the league last year. And you'll remember his speed demon habits back in the WBC in 2023. He went first to home in 10.24 seconds to score the winning run in the semifinal game against Mexico.
Yep, that's the book on Shuto. He's very, very good at using his legs, both as a defender and on the base paths.
Fast boy fast.
Though this year he doesn't have as many stolen bases because, well, he's missed time. Swung on and fouled away. That was a really good cut, but he was just he barely got that one because it would have gone off to the other side if he had been like in front of that pitch. Hey, nice view of the KKB building back there. That's a broadcasting company that runs in Kagoshima specifically, if not all of Kyushu. And that's hit up the middle. Grabbed by... Whoa. That was a close play, but Kosei Osato. And here you go. Kokubo is asking for a review already. And with Shuto's speed, there's at least a good chance.
Yeah, if there's anyone who can turn an infield hit into a single, it's Shuto, definitely.
But, I mean, that was a really clean transfer by Osato. I'm not saying that the umpire got the call correct. Also, just because this is a first for me in many ways, this is another first. I'm actually watching them try and check a replay thing. And he's safe. Easy.
Nice. When I saw that live, I was like, he's safe by a mile. I don't know, man.
You can't beat Shuto's speed. Tongu with a decent stretch, but nope.
I think the thing was if Tongu had reached like further, he might have had more of a prayer, but it's such a close thing live that it's kind of hard. But no, I think this is going to be overturned. If it is, it'll be a hit, an infield hit for Shuto, and as you said, Gabe, getting him on base is not what Soltani wants to do. Here comes the call. He has been ruled out.
My guess is inconclusive.
Now, I can't say if it's different rules. you see Shuto asking, huh? What? For what it's worth, I do not know if the challenge system is akin to MLB, but if they lost the challenge, then they might not have another one for a while. And if it's not conclusive evidence, they can't turn it over. I guess that wasn't conclusive enough. So there is one out in the bottom of the first inning. Also, just as a hedge, hello, future Gabe. If that turned out to be correct, that's a heck of a defensive play.
Not
Sending
me.
in.
The both of you are doing the highlight reels too now.
I know. But we'll see if that one's me or you. Anyways, coming up to the bat now is the fill-in shortstop, Isami Nomura, and he's hitting over 300 this season. It's not easy to fill in for a veteran like Kenta Imamiya, but you have to say that Nomura is doing a really, really good job so far. Although he is walking off that little tumble he took, avoiding that ball.
Yeah, he's been one of the nice surprises for the Hawks so far this season, with both his defense and offense coming in a lot better than they were expecting, replacing Imagia.
Well, and obviously they'd love to have Imamiya, so, like, what do they do for Nomura to keep him in the lineup when Imamiya is back? It's going to be interesting to find out.
Could be a platoon guy. Could sub it in at second sometime.
Does Imamiya hit left-handed? I don't honestly know. I also know that platooning in Japan is not nearly as prominent still. And once again, now I'm not sure if that hit him or if his foot gave way or, well, okay, it looks like he's taking his base, so that would be a hit by pitch. Sotani is unhappy with that. But
or as they call it in Japan, a dead doboru, a dead ball.
Yeah, the kanji is literally death. It's great.
It looked like Nomura stepped on the ball and twisted his ankle a little bit. Yikes.
Yeah. We might see a replacement relatively early in this game, which this Hawks bench, the depth is not there without their stars at the top. But for now, Nomura's on first after taking a hit by pitch. I think he's been hit a couple of times already. And here comes Tatsuru Yanagimachi playing right field today. Hitting slightly over 300 on the season himself. 15 runs batted in. That one is outside. Ball one.
Yanagimachi has broken in with the team in part because of a string of injuries that forced his appearance. In 2022, Ryoya Kurihara blew out his leg very early in the season, and Yanagimachi stepped up and took over in left field. Then with Yanagita's injuries and Kondo out this year, Tatsuru's seen a lot of time.
He hasn't seen a lot of time against this particular pitcher, but he is very successful against Sotani lifetime. If you saw the graphic, in four at-bats against Sotani, he's had 3 hits. The 2-0 delivery. In there for strike one. Now, Jimbo, I know you're a resident true Hawks fan. Did you expect Yanagimachi to be this important to the offense?
No, absolutely not. But I've not expected just about everything with the Hawks so far this season.
And that's outside for ball 3.
Corey in the chat saying his batting stance reminds him of Bryce Harper. That is, I was thinking that too. I was like, that. I've seen this batting stance before. Very solid, grounded, left-handed stance. Ooh, what's that graphic say?
That is walk ranking. Both Akira Nakamura and Yanagimachi are tied for the league lead with 22. That was
Nice
not a
pitch.
ball, though. If count is full. We'll see if Nomura tests that foot running on this next pitch. Underneath Yanagimachi Nakamura, there was Hideto Asamura with 21, and I think I saw Hiroto Kobukata also at the Eagles as well. Speaking of Nakamura, guess who's up next? And picks back to first. Nomura dives in safely. It seems to be working all right, that foot. That's hit it into left field. It's going to evade the glove of the leaping Ryoma Nishikawa. And Nomura sliding back into third base. That'll be a double for Yanagimachi into the left field gap.
It just kind of looks like the left fielder took a bad read on it. Could have maybe been a play, but Yanagimachi will take that double.
A little opposite field push.
Yeah, that was a very near miss. You're right, Jimbo. But good job by Nomura to get all the way to third, and Yanagimachi was able to take his double for that. And now we have two runners in scoring position with Akira Nakamura coming up. Now, Nakamura this season has been getting a whole lot more time than he has the last couple years. Hitting 285 right now.
Part of that is because of the injuries to Kondo and Yanagita. That means that Yamakawa can move to DH and make more room for the lefty sniper, Akira Nakamura. He's been with this Hawks club since 2011. So he's been a part of this entire Hawks dynasty. More rings than he's got fingers on one hand. 7 championships with the Hawks.
7, just like the number on the back of his jersey.
And he's one of my favorite Hawks. When Yamakawa came over, I was a little bit worried about if he'd see any more playtime, but he's great to always have around. He makes for a great pinch hitter.
I was about to
to
say,
move someone around.
Veteran presence, defensive substitute. Yeah. Swung on and hit up the middle, and it's through the infield. That'll score at least one run. Yanagimachi crosses on the 2-run single by Akira Nakamura, and the game is tied.
And that right there is a classic bit of Nakamura hitting. Just get choked up on the bat there. Simple, easy shot right up the middle. That lefty sniper nickname coming through.
See previous commentary about platoon matchups not really mattering. Nakamura going, ooh, that was dangerously close to a cup check.
Now, I don't care to find out the percentage of players in NPB who actively use cups, but I do know it's distressingly low in MLB. I'd imagine it's probably the same. Youth players, you should wear them. They're very good things. Just like that, the game is flipped on its head. 1 out in the bottom of the first, a runner on first, the go-ahead run already on first base. This has been a lot of offense early on. I'm loving that. And in steps Ryoya Kurihara with a swing out of his shoes for strike 1. Kurihara has not had a great year. It's safe to say that the time off has kind of hurt his timing a little bit. He isn't even hitting 200 yet, but if he gets back to his career norms, watch out.
Last season was his second career 20 home run season. And it's been interesting to see how injuries have affected his career over time. He went from playing every game in 2021 to that gruesome knee injury that robbed him of almost his entire 2022 season.
Availability is the best ability, as they always say.
And I remember last year he was great down the stretch for the Hawks going through the playoffs. Just couldn't come through to win them the title in the end.
The other thing to remember, too, is that Kurihara is one of the ones you expected to be very, very good. Like the star who is in place and healthy. I mean, he hasn't been healthy the whole year, but when he is healthy, you expect him to produce. The 1-2 pitch coming up now. And that is called strike 3.
And Corey in the chat with an interesting question. Is this counted as a home game for either team, or is it, I guess it's technically a Hawks? I'm not sure.
It is technically the Hawks. That's why they're coming to bat in the bottom half of the inning. Also, they're definitely closer to the locale the game is being played than Orix. And that's slacked immediately by the Shin Godzilla up the middle. And before I even had a chance to introduce Yuto Akihiro to the game, he's on first with a single.
He is huge.
Well, I mean, the other reason that Godzilla nickname fit is because he's like 6'7". That's 200 centimeters in non-freedom units.
That is tied for the league record for tallest player in NPB.
Also worth noting, since he came from the tall people, it was only fitting that he's a tall person. But it's great to see that he's getting a bit more playing time here than he did with that team in the other league.
And Pranav with a good question. Do we stream every Pacific League game or just Sunday games? We do about one game a month here on YouTube Live, but if you go to Pacific League TV, you can subscribe for about 1,500 yen a month, which is about $10-15, depending on the conversion rate where you are, and you can watch every game every day.
But it won't have commentary.
Yes, well, there is that, yes.
Don't forget our good friends over at FTF Sports and Dingo TV. They cover games as well, some of which with English commentary. Just, not us.
As the scoreboard is showing you right now, the seventh batter is Hotaka Yamakawa playing DH today. Yamakawa, of course, near the title for home runs in this league, unsurprisingly. It'd be a great spot for that Doskoi call, but right now, it's a 1-1 count. 2 runners on base, 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. SoftBank tied it up very quickly, and if this ball does go sailing out of here, then all of a sudden, it's a very big lead early on.
I tried mimicking Yamakawa's leg kick at softball. I promptly fell on my butt.
Maurice also got one. I wonder if they taught it to each other. Swings over that. It's 1-2.
And with us in Kagoshima tonight, it's the southern part of the southern island in Japan. But Yamakawa comes from Okinawa, one of the only places even more south.
Okinawa is not connected to the main island chain. It's quite a ways away. But I think that NPB does spring training there, at least for some teams. That's hit on the ground and gets through. Nakamura is going to come around third and score the third run, putting SoftBank on top.
It's been quite the explosive first inning here from both teams.
This is going to be one of those games.
It's more fun to call action than it is to call, a pitcher's duel per se, but good pitcher's duels are also appreciated in this corner.
East Bay with a good question. What's the most runs we've ever had on a PLTV live stream game? I have no idea, but I will try to do a little research. By the end of this game, I will have that figured out for you.
If you don't hear from Jimbo for a while, he fell down in the archives. Got it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go disappear for a little bit.
The Hawks fan doesn't get to watch the Hawks continue trying to pad their lead. All right, next is backup catcher Hiroki Mine getting the start today over Takashi Umino. Still 2 runners on. Sotani throws. Hit in the air. It's going to probably not be very damaging. Left field, center field, who's got it? Ryoma Nishikawa puts it away, and that will end the threat for SoftBank and the first inning. But with an explosion of offense, we had a 2-run single from Akira Nakamura, and he also came around to score on a single by Hotaka Yamakawa. It is 3-2. SoftBank Hawks on top.
Now, I'm not sure if you've caught it yet, Matt and Jimbo, but there is a different sound to the Owen Don cheer section in this game in Kumamoto.
Kagoshima, in this case.
Kagoshima, yes. That's because the Kagoshima Jitsugyo High School brass band and cheerleaders are handling musical duties for the home team tonight.
That's really fun. Get locals involved in the conversation and give them an indelible part of the experience that they will never forget. Like, Kumamoto obviously did have one game last season, but before that, according to some of my friends who were locals and took me to a live game, it had been almost a decade since Kumamoto had seen any NPB action. But 3 years in a row, safe to say the fans are turning out, and that is another big consideration of where they send these games. Certain teams have great relationships with various places and go back. Like I know Morioka has been a site for road games, like true countryside road games, for quite a while now.
Fox will be playing 4 what they call Fight Kyushu games across the island. Yesterday in Kumamoto will probably get rescheduled. July 17th in Kita Kyushu, up at the northern edge of Kyushu. And August 17th, back at their usual home, the Mizuho PayPay Dome.
Leading off the top of the second inning will be a very, very big bopper in his own right, Yutaro Sugimoto. He looked like he wanted to hit the Rao pose with that swing. Playing right field today. He already does have 4 home runs on the season. You might have witnessed him hit a couple of those on the last midnight matinee we did. Quickly down 0-2.
Now, you'll have to explain the Rao nickname. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so the Rao is Rao pose. Rao is a character from seminal anime Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken in the native language. And Rao was one of the more villainous characters, but he was also one of the strongest fighters in a shonen battle anime, so he's inspired quite a lot of people. I see what Iwasawa was trying to do with that looping curveball there. Did not work. 1-2. And fights it off the hands.
Sugimoto's an interesting case in terms of his batting stat line. He joined the Buffaloes at the same time as Masataka Yoshida, whereas Yoshida was amazing out the chute. It took Sugimoto 4 or 5 seasons to really figure it out. And then in 2021, he pops off for 20 doubles, 32 home runs, and a .301 batting average.
Laced down the right field line, but well foul.
A good season this year, though, will get Sugimoto up to 100 home runs on this career. He's sitting at 87 right now.
So the number to beat is 21 for the season. That's up high. This is becoming quite a battle between Sugimoto and Uwasawa here. Uwasawa, deserves to be said, tried his hand at MLB last year. Originally was a fighters pitcher, if I recall. But after an attempt with the Boston Red Sox that mostly petered out in AAA and then a little bit of time in the Rays organization, he's now back. Signed with the Hawks. That is sky deep behind home plate and over that protective netting into the seats. Now, I don't see any pitch count details on this graphic, but this particular at-bat already feels like it's about 8 deep. And the longer a hitter is in an at-bat, the more the advantage shifts to them. Swung on and fouled off again.
Fans in Kagoshima getting some souvenirs.
They already have a couple in that right field section from the Nishikawa home run. But now they're spreading the love.
Hey, could be worse. Could be a Toshiki Abe at-bat.
I mean, this is becoming very Abe-like. That's ball 3. He's worked it full. Remember, he was down 0-2 at one point. 4 foul balls and nibbling around the edges of the strike zone will do that, though. And Iwasawa wins the paddle, striking him out. I mean, I'll take a game that has a little bit of everything. An intense
That looks like a
mano-a-mano
cutter.
showdown. intense mano-a-mano showdown like that. Early offense, good defensive plays, maybe some speed on the base paths. Although Shuto was not given a chance in that first inning. Here's Keita Nakagawa taking strike one. Keita Nakagawa has been an incredible piece in the outfield for these Buffaloes. And today he's playing center, which I don't know is his usual position.
It has been this season. I remember back in 2022, their championship year, they had Shuhei Fukuda handling center, but Keita Nakagawa stole that spot, especially with his stronger batting.
Quickly down 0-2 to Uesawa here. And that definitely would have been strike three. He just fouled it off, and so the at-bat continues.
It's interesting to see Uesawa's pitching motions and keeping himself limber in between pitches. There's no pitch clock here in Japan, of course. To some people's chagrin and a lot of other people's merriment, this is pure baseball. Lots of bunting.
This is baseball as it was intended. The game will take precisely as long as it means to. And he tried
no pitch
upstairs
before it's time.
Trying to go upstairs and missed on that one. It is a 1-2 count. If you had to rank the Buffaloes batters coming into this season, Gabe, I know our resident Buffaloes guy on the podcast, where would Nakagawa be in the lineup for you?
I think he's in the right spot. I mean, you know me and my love affair with Ryo Ota, the Phenom, who is still out with a hand injury. But yeah, putting Tongu, Mori, Sugimoto ahead of him makes sense. Maybe you'd swap him and Kurebayashi.
On the ground, and it's booted by Kurihara. Nomura does recover and tries to make a throw, but that is quite obviously not going to get Nakagawa. Now, I do not know what they're going to officially score that. It was very hard hit, and it depends. Did it hit the body or did it hit the glove for whether it becomes an error or a hit? I mean, the exit velocity on that was pretty solid, and Kurihara raised his glove up too high, so it actually kicked off of his leg, it looked like.
As someone who plays third base in softball, I feel that pain.
Well, I mean, it's still the hot corner, even if the ball is different.
I'm back from my journey to find the highest score. To answer East Bay's question, it was a Fighters and Eagles game back in 2023 where we had 14 runs. That game ended 9-5 for the Fighters.
Dare I say that if things continue, we'll get to challenge that record. Here is Kosei Osato playing second base today. He's not had a ton of time on the top club this year as far as like getting out and doing what he's doing right now. Does take that ball upstairs, 1-0.
His face looks too old for his body. Anyone else? Anyone else doing that?
Wow, and it isn't even midnight for me yet. This is going to be a very, very fun game for us, isn't it?
What's wild for me is Osato appeared in 51 games last season. I did not clock any of that. I could have sworn we had someone else playing second base the entire time.
Well, I mean, Ryo Ota probably was playing second base a lot of the time.
Last season, I think it was split between Marwin Gonzalez and Koji Oshiro.
Marwing. Do you remember? Pops it up on the infield. Kurihara may get a chance of redemption here. And he does, catching that for the second out of the inning.
And with your little allusion to the time there, everyone in the chat, where are you watching from and what time is it where you are? Over here on the East Coast, where I am, it's about 1:39 a.m. and we're just getting started, so it's going to be a long night.
It's less of a long day for me, although I had a long day before this, but it's merely 11:30 right now for myself.
Are we going to watch the sunrise today, Jimbo?
Depends.
Yeah,
how many
probably.
Toshiki Abe-esque at-bats do we get? Here is catcher Sho Fukunaga. Now, Fukunaga has literally got like a handful of plate appearances coming into this contest.
So new, he doesn't have a cheer song yet, you will hear. He's getting the generic one.
It just hits different in NPB.
Pranav checking in from Bangalore. I think that's the first time we've ever had a Indian fan on. So welcome. Very happy to have you here.
Thanks much to all of you watching us right now. Ooh.
I was going to make a comment about a cricket team in Bangalore, but I don't know if he likes them or not, and I'm just going to watch myself for that.
That's probably wise. All right. Showing the good eye here, Show, for looking at two obvious balls. That is a good hack, but it goes back to the stop. The backstop. I suppose I should be more specific. Oof. There's that looping curveball again, but it did not drop enough. Count is 3-1. That was a gift strike call, I think, because that was about where the last one was, but it was a much straighter pitch. The count is full. We have 2 outs in the top of the second, a runner on first base, as Orix looks to try and get back to tie the score. Swing and a miss. And Uwasawa with 2 strikeouts in the inning. Much easier than the first, relatively speaking.
And that last pitch there, that looked pretty much exactly the same as the pitch before. So I guess he really pulled the string on the batter there. Just trying to remember the batter's name. Totally lost it.
Sho Fukunaga. It's okay. It's okay, Jimbo. He's like brand new. There was a fun little statue there showing the 20th anniversary logo for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Now, it's not the 20th anniversary of the franchise known as the Hawks. They've been through several names. I'll let Gabe do his history corner on all of those if he feels like it. But specifically, since they moved to the home base in Fukuoka, it has been 20 years. And of course, Fukuoka, for those of you unaware of Japanese geography, on the same island they're playing right now. That's why they are the, not ersatz, but chosen home team for this game.
And I gotta double check you on that. It's not actually 20 years since they moved to Fukuoka. It's been 20 years since they've been owned by SoftBank.
SoftBank. Okay, that's completely different. That's why SoftBank was featured on that little thing that I totally saw what I wanted to see.
Also, 20 years since they've been wearing these uniforms. If I was a uniform designer, I would champ at the bit to redesign SoftBank. They've been wearing these duds for so long, but then again, the dynasty, is it worth it?
Why would you change perfection? Why would you change the best uniform in all MPB?
Merchandising.
Oh, yes, that is true. On that note, though, they do have the summer uniforms every year, which is a tradition I love for MPB. All the summer uniforms for all the teams in the league look amazing, and it's always
we
fun
are going to
see.
Talk about the Buffaloes one on the next podcast episode.
Oh, man, I wish I could be there. I would love to see those. Flashback to May 20th, where Hikaru Kawase, coming up to bat, hits a home run out of Escon Field. I think that's the only home run he's hit this year, although I am lame and don't have enough monitors to check all of my information and stats that I put together. The one home run. Yep.
They heard you in the production booth all the way over there.
I appreciate it. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. That's a little bit of headhunting from Sotani.
Can I also bust out my Japanese music cred? The band is playing for Kawase's cheer song, Train Train by the Blue Hearts. I'd recognize that riff anywhere.
Well done, Gabe. I definitely wouldn't have. By the way, that near headshot, about 93 miles an hour. just to put it into freedom units for our fans who don't know metric.
And East Bay wants a black Yanagita jersey. I have one. It's beautiful. I love it. Ooh, Ringo Ishikawa checking in from Brazil.
And he's backed off the plate, and that will be ball 4. Is that a 4-pitch walk? Or did I miss something?
Yeah, there was like a weird cut there. There was also Philip LSA is noting there was like a pitch missing in the broadcast there. It was a very quick 4-pitch at bat.
I don't know if it was a pitch missing in our broadcast or if there's a little bit of lag time going on. I mean, we are obviously accessing this from a different country. We do the best we can with what we have. So thanks for sticking it out with us. And thank you very much to our production team on the Japanese side. And a pickoff move to check back Kawase. Now, Ukyo obviously had the infield... The infield ball to second base. I was struggling not to call it an infield hit because they ruled it wasn't. But, let's see if he can do better on that one this time.
One thing that the Hawks organization has been incredible at is getting value and depth out of the developmental draft. Kodai Senga, Yuki Yanagita, and Ukyo Shuto all started their careers as developmental players. That means they aren't even registered to play in top flight games until their first 3 years are up.
Well, and go figure that team with the financial backing of SoftBank has a lot more of a fleshed out system. I was making the comparison to someone that I get to sing with, and they were asking about NPB, and I was like, well, it's basically like AAA and MLB, and that's about it, unless you're the Hawks.
And for those who don't know what he means by that specifically is the Hawks have, I think, 4 developmental teams or 3. Basically, every other team has
teams,
one,
yes.
And the Hawks have an entire farm to themselves.
The question I wonder is, how do they make games for the second and third flight teams in the minors?
Just play each other.
They actually tend to play industrial league teams, college teams, independent league teams. Like there's the Shikoku Island League Plus and the Baseball Challenge League, which field independent league clubs. So they often get unscheduled games against those. They just aren't part of the official NPB farm leagues, the Eastern and the Western leagues.
Well, that also makes sense. When everyone else only has one team, it's kind of hard to give them preferential treatment by throwing in another SoftBank Hawks affiliated organization. This it's turning into quite the battle here between Shuto and Sotani, and the count is now full.
To Dan Highway's question, the farm teams are regulated like the minors in that there's an official league that all the top farm teams participate in. Just as we said, the Hawks are the only one that have 4 teams, while the others only just have 1.
One thing I'm keeping an eye on is how Sho Fukunaga is calling this game compared to his Golden Glove counterpart, Kenya Wakatsuki.
Yeah, it's probably good to get Wakatsuki a day off. I know catcher is a very demanding position. I wonder if they had to go with Fukunaga. I think they have a couple other catchers on the roster.
Well, their DH is one of them, but I guess Tomoya Mori's not quite ready to get behind the plate.
I mean, if you're going to put on the tools of ignorance, then it's probably safer to say, yeah, let's go ahead and keep you out of that catcher's gear there, Tomoya.
Tool of Ignorance was my nickname in college.
Great. That's through for a base hit. No challenging that one. Kawase is going to get over to third base, and we have runners on the corners with no out.
See, I knew this was going to be a tough game for the Buffaloes coming into this, not just because of Uwasawa, but because this season, the Hawks are 5-1-2 against Orix. At one point, until it ended, I think it's sometime in the last 3 games they played, the Hawks had a 12-game unbeaten streak against the Buffaloes. They are a team built specifically to frustrate Orix, and I hate it.
I think between the Buffaloes and Hawks, haven't they won the last how many pennants?
How many?
Just the two of
Yeah,
them?
how many Pacific League pennants? I mean, like Orix had the 3 years in a row, and Yoshinobu
Hawks won
Yamamoto,
last year,
Jason
and
Bases,
then
Hawks, of course,
a
won
bunch
last
before
year,
that.
and then the Dynasty years that Nakamura was present for. This isn't Nakamura, but this is Isami Nomura. Hit into center field, backing up on it is Nakagawa, and at the track, at the wall, he makes the catch. That's going to be more than deep enough for Ukyo Shuto to score. A sac fly and an RBI for Isami Nomura.
That was not Ukyo Shuto. That would have been very impressive if it was.
That was Hikaru Kawase. My apologies.
I mean, I know he's making it all the way from first, which honestly, if anyone's going to do it, it's him. Absolutely.
Did you guys ever hear the legend of Cool Papa Bell? Like the old joke of, yeah, he could flip the light switch himself and race to the bed and be in before the lights went out.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
That's essentially the Shuto speed we're thinking of. Shuto also tagged, and he's now in scoring position as well. It's worth mentioning. Hawks up 4-2. Here's Yan Agimachi.
I do want to get one tidbit in on Ryuhei Sotani before he gets knocked out of this game, which maybe soon. Not to jinx. When he was 8, he did a school assignment where he wrote to his future self, and he said when he was 20 years old, he wanted to be an Orix Buffalo when he grew up.
Wow.
He was off by 2 years.
Oh, darn. But he was probably in their system at that point.
At 8 years old?
No. At 18. You said, or at 20. You said 2 years old.
Yes.
No, he was a pitcher at university, actually. I think Hyoku University, I saw earlier. Still, close enough.
Yeah, I mean,
nice
everything.
That forkball grip.
Everything that you can do. There's a great shot of the band. Go band! I'm a music guy, so I have to say that. It's worth mentioning, of course, that like anything you can do to get yourself to the pros, he was on the developmental track. Checks back at second base, Shuto is called safe. One of the things that very typically is true of lefties, and by the way, you're looking at one of the best lefties in the Pacific League, is that their pickoff moves are so good, especially to first base. Not that we get to see the pickoff itself. One camera at a time. That's all we get. The 1-1 pitch. Down in the dirt, and Shuto decides to hold up. Looked like he was about to try and take third, and he probably would have made it anyway.
He was at least halfway there, yeah.
I mean, he was off the screen. That's why I wasn't sure.
Is that why he's so fast? Because he can clip through the
Things
screen?
just got so quiet for a second.
I'm trying to not monopolize conversation and let things happen.
No. Like even the band
fans
stopped. Yeah, I thought my headphones went off.
Are they one of those taps and you can get them off? That's slapped down the left field line into the other seats. They're spreading the souvenirs all around in Kagoshima today. Well, maybe not behind the left field wall and the center field batter's eye, but we'll see. We still got.
They did get one to right, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, Yoma Nishikawa to right field. And now we've had directly behind home plate, well, not directly, but just to the right of home plate and down the right field line and down the left field line. And that is hit through the infield. Shuto is easily going to try and score on this play.
Yeah, outfielder didn't even try. He's like, yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, that's an RBI single for Tatsuru Yanagimachi, who suddenly is driven in. Another run. He's already 2 for 2 with a double and a single.
And Dan Howe had an interesting question. Gabe, I wonder if we can see what we think about this. Is why do the Hawks seem to beat the Buffaloes so much? It's not really a talent thing because the Buffaloes are just as good as the Hawks, more or less. Did you have any idea why it just seems to be the Hawks get their number?
Honestly, if I knew, I'd probably tell the team first.
True. Fair enough.
You would present it to the higher ups and say, "Hire me."
I'm allowed to be a partisan. I'm the color guy tonight.
Yep. I'm just here for good baseball. I like both of these teams for different reasons. But as far
I
as
just hope both teams have fun.
yes, but aside from the sarcasm, I was going to say that like teams having a certain team's number. I mean, it always kind of comes and goes, right? Depends on the personnel, and some people do really well against certain pitchers, and vice versa. So if you just have a lot of those bad matchups.
Yeah, I mean, also, if you look at last year, the Marines absolutely dominated the Lions all season long, and this year it's the total opposite. I'm going to go find the number for
I figured that the Marines had a more than 70% chance to literally sweep the season series against the Lions last year. Nagamura hits this into left field. Nishikawa races over and grabs that for the second out of the inning, rather, because we did have the second fly from earlier. Jimbo, do you happen to know if any of our players on the field tonight are from Kagoshima?
I've been trying to figure that out. I haven't found anyone yet, but I'm working on it.
Gotcha. Well, if you do, just let us know, because I'm sure.
Just scream it at the top of my lungs, no matter where we are on the broadcast.
I wasn't saying that, but, find a spot. Here's Kurihara for the second appearance. That is just a little outside, ball one.
Oh, the Lions are 5-4 against the Marines this season. I thought they were doing better. Still, not bad.
I mean, it's over 500. They weren't even sniffing that last year against the Marines.
I mean, these teams do play each other 25 times each during the regular season. And then you got the interleague series, which is 18.
But that's a 3-game set against every team of the other league. So,
yep. All home or all away. You'll be able to catch the home games at Pacific League stadiums through our partners FTF Sports, Dingo TV, and of course Pacific League TV at pacificleague.com. The only way in North America and around the world to watch legally the other league teams.
It's worth noting as well, I think we tried getting a midnight matinee with interleague. I know we did one last season. That was our first ever interleague matchup.
It was Shunpeita Yamashita and Trevor Bauer. The Bay Stars visited Kyocera Dome for a baseball for breakfast game.
Yes, I remember. That was awesome.
So it's only up to 50 pitches in an inning and 2/3 of work so far. This start has decidedly not been as good as his last one. Swings over the top of that. Got inside it a little bit. That is now 2-2 the count. And it's grounded to first base. Handled very easily there by Tongu, who takes it to the bag unassisted for the final out of the bottom of the second. Not final anything. We still have so many innings to go, but at the end of the second, it is 5-2. The quote-unquote home team Hawks leading. Do we know of any fun giveaways that are happening aside from the road jerseys of the Hawks in Kagoshima going on today, Gabe?
Giving away in a different sense. The Japanese Red Cross has paired with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks to run a blood donation clinic outside the stadium here in Kagoshima.
Speaking of that,
So it's sort of a reverse giveaway if you think about it in that respect.
Yeah,
and that is the
you're
fans
totally-
giving.
That's true.
it's more like a give
takeaway.
more, take more.
It looks like a beautiful day there in Kagoshima. Big change from yesterday in Kumamoto. Still a bit peeved that we couldn't broadcast that one, but at least the sun held out.
It certainly looks a lot nicer than it's been on the East Coast here, where all quote unquote summer long it's been cold and rainy and blows. At least where
Oh my
I'm-
goodness.
other
Even
places
here,
are.
even here, we had rainstorm most of the day, which is very odd for Colorado. And speaking of, if you are from Colorado, chime in the chat. We'd love to hear from you.
I think I
Quick
did see
out-of-town
someone
scoreboard
post from
update.
Colorado, I think.
Eagles and Fighters tied at ones at Rakuten Mobile Park, Miyagi. Underway at Zozo Marine Stadium. Marines and Lions tied at zeros in the third. Eagles game tied at ones in the seventh.
First pitch to Taishi Hidooka is a strike. He had a single and came around to score his first time up.
Which is such a nice thing to see for Taishi, considering how journeyman-like his career was up to this point. Drafted by the Yogurt Birds in 2015, sent to the Tall People in 2021, and then to the Buffaloes in 2023.
And I didn't realize for a moment you were using like euphemisms for team names. I thought I was having a stroke. I was like, the what?
See, I just didn't hear what he said until he said to Tall People, which I did get. But anyway, it
The
is
Yogurt Birds.
That's
yes.
what really threw me off for a second.
Yogurt Birds. Love it. It is worth noting that, you know, the Pacific League has a history of that, especially in recent years. I mean, look at Hiromi Oka's season for the Marines just last year. Definitely not the type of guy who posted out every day and then all of a sudden just had a heck of a season.
And in 2023, when he was traded from the Tall People to the Buffaloes, he became the 8th player in NPB history to homer in both leagues in the same season.
As his sign showed you, Nishikawa just got his 1,000th hit with that 2-run dinger last time up. Fouls that one off. Sounds like I guess it could be the visiting team's Owen Don for real doing the cheers for Orix, but that is grounded through the hole between short and third, and there will be 2 runners on as Nishikawa gets his second hit of the game. It was that sign, that handwritten sign on congratulations on your 1,000th hit. So glad the person made the sign and was able to see it in person. Anyways, I was going to make the comment, like, sometimes in collegiate athletics, for instance, that if it's like a school that doesn't have a band program, but they have a fight song or whatever, that they'll give the song to the band for the home team just so that they can get a little bit of that going too. And so I wasn't sure if this is a similar situation.
It's nice.
Well, especially if you don't have the resources to field a band. Here's Kotaro Kurebayashi, not Murabayashi, Jimbo.
Yep.
I heard that chuckle the first time I said it.
I'll never get it right.
Murabayashi's with the Eagles. Different game, folks.
Yeah, no, very,
doesn't
very
matter to
different
me.
game. I tried, Gabe, you missed it. I literally tried coming up with some crazy mnemonic to help, and it's just like, no.
it just made it so much worse.
The Buffaloes in prime position. There are no outs, 2 runners on in the top of the third. They're in prime position to tie it. Although, if you gave the guys a truth serum, I'm not sure they want Kurebayashi up right now. He's been having a fairly down season by his standards. That said, I mean, he was just on the team, that the Premier 12 team that took a silver medal, so definitely a good ball player in here. I keep wondering when to wake up. Looks at one straight down the chute. 1-2. Uwasawa needs to get this out. And possibly a double play ball would be great.
Kurebayashi definitely has a reputation for success behind him now. Back-to-back All-Star nods, 2023 Best 9, and almost won the Golden Glove that same season, except for the human highlight reel Sosuke Genda.
There are some people that just get standing reputations. That's hit on the ground to Nakamura, who's going to flip it over to Uwasawa. And Kurebayashi does a great job. I mean, he does not reach base himself, but he gets both of the runners into scoring position.
The old swinging bunt.
Anyway, to the point about, like, you know, reputation is great. Sometimes reputation is probably over relied upon. And that's why you get people winning gold gloves like how many years in a row, even if somebody else probably could deserve it.
Derek Jeter.
Although the metrics really don't back Jeter's win up, that's for sure.
When I was doing research for this game, I stumbled upon one of my favorite trivia tidbits. Yuma Tongu was at one point pranked in university by being gifted a golden pair of tongs.
Ha! Love it. Also, have to shout you out, abandoned rocket ship. Denver is very near where I am, so thanks for checking us out so late. It is now tipped over midnight in Mountain Time as well, as we get to the top of the third. That looping curveball has not seen many strikes, but that was definitely one of them.
Is there like any sort of food that's like popular or unique to Denver other than Colorado oysters?
Rocky Mountain oysters. No, the Denver omelet. The omelet itself was a creation of Denver, supposedly.
What about green chili?
Green chili? I'm not sure. I mean, I would think that would be more like New Mexico area, but what do I know? I'm a transplant. Swung on and missed. That's 1-2. I mean, I've lived in Colorado for most of my life, but I wasn't originally born in Colorado. So you could tell Tongu wanted to tie the game up with one swing. There we go. Words, man. Abandoned rocket ship coming in clutch, saying absolutely more New Mexico's thing, green chili.
Shows you what I know. You're outnumbered by Canadians here in this virtual booth.
That's fair. Thanks for chiming in, eh? That's up the middle, and that's going to score at least one. Shuto gets to it quickly, though, and so the trail runner is going to be held to third base. Tongu with an RBI single.
Yeah, we are definitely in contention to have the most runs on a PLTV broadcast here.
Hey, I guess if you guys want action, you should just have me do lead play-by-play more often. I'm kidding.
I mean, to be fair, Matt, you are the master of manifesting when it comes to broadcasts.
Both good and bad, yes. Oka scored his second run of the game. It's now 3-5, and we're having a confab. I'm guessing because of the name that's pitching coach Kurano rather than manager Kokubo. Sorry, Jimbo, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Well, I was saying Jazz Hands here was asking where we could watch games regularly. If you go to Pacific League TV and subscribe there, you for just 1,500 yen every month, you get all the games in the Pacific League, even the minor league games, right up until the Japan series. So check that out. We don't have English commentary there every day. We only do that here on YouTube about once a month, or we try to do it as often as we can.
Be great if we could do it more, but obviously we are limited by all of our schedules and the schedules of the people who are so kind in getting us access to this footage so we can actually commentate the game as it happens for you. Maury steps up to the plate. Only a .216 hitter on the season. He's still looking for his first home run of the season. It would be a fantastic time for one right now.
Lord knows he can step up in the big moments. 2019 Pacific League MVP, 4 best nines, 6 All-Stars. But he's only played in 11 games so far because of a leg injury.
You say step up, and I'm just thinking leg kick. That was a glorious leg kick and a very good swing that was definitely trying for the home run. He just didn't make contact. All the way down to a knee. Very Adrian Beltre-esque.
Modi also played junior baseball in the Osaka area. He was a catcher at Osaka Toei High School when they won a Koshien tournament in 2012.
So he'll have the reputation of big game performer for the rest of his career, all because of Koshien. Yes.
Pretty much.
It is that hallowed in Japanese baseball fandom.
Don't forget, he also made it to the Japan Series in 2023 with these Buffaloes, bowing out to the Western Railway Kiddies.
Western Railway Kiddies. The euphemisms get better as they go along. It's great. You can tell that Maury's trying to take the lead with one swing. I guess it's not a tying situation. It would be a go-ahead if he hit it.
That's also how Maury always swings. It's always trying to
that's
get
fair. Comparison of swing outcome. Kyle Schwarber? We're missing our resident Philadelphia fan, but early
Schwarber seems like a good
early in the career, Kyle Schwarber was basically all or nothing. He either hit bombs or missed badly.
And he was a catcher too.
I think he still
was
does.
a former catcher. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Phillies are just loaded with former catchers. Bryce Harper also counts in that category.
Only very technically.
No, I mean, all the way through high school, he was a catcher.
Yeah, but then never again.
Which was probably a good decision.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely for the best.
But, I mean, here's the thing. How many people who make it to professional baseball in Japan, the U.S., the Dominican, how many of them grew up on their youth league teams specifically as shortstop, center field, catcher, or pitcher?
True. Or third, maybe. But yeah, I get your point.
And then they're moved away as need happens. Mori takes a walk after that battle with Uwasawa, and the bases are now loaded for none other than Rao. Well, I'm kidding. It's just Yutaro Sugimoto. He'd love to hit a Rao pose after this, though.
What did I call Sugimoto last game we did? I called him someone completely different.
Yeah,
what was it?
Oh, I don't remember. Speaking of wanting to get it over the fence, that swing was, I don't know. It kind of looked like he was about to go for it and then decided, nah, you know what? But it was too late.
Did I call him Moribayashi? Anyway.
No, I think it wasn't that. I think you saved that for Kurebayashi, which you got right once. Also fun from that last one. That was the very first time that I called any game that had the Buffaloes involved. Swung on, and it's down the left field line into the seats right near the wall.
I was mentioning Sugimoto's breakout season in 2021. Turns out a big influence in that, the presence of Adam Jones, former Oriole and Diamondbacks outfielder, who was wrapping up his career with the Buffaloes in 2021 and 2022. Sorry, 2020 and 2021. I am a very strong Adam Jones fan here, so I appreciate
Adam Jones is a all-time Hall of Great.
Adam Jones even said in an interview the following year, he still gives advice to the players, including texting with Sugimoto, and told him, don't stress too much. They still keep in touch.
That pitch was just straight in there. That's about 94 miles per hour on that fastball for those of you looking for freedom units. 153 kilometers per hour. That is swung on, weakly hit, foul. And this is the second time that Sugimoto has had a battle with Uwasawa. The previous at bat, it took him like 10 pitches to strike out. Getting good plate coverage on that swing. It's not great contact, but it doesn't need to be if it goes foul.
Getting a good look at Uwasawa growing his hair out. One of his nicknames back when he was with the Fighters was the Darvish of Matsudo. And he gets this.
That's placed on the right field line, and it's going into the corner. 1 run is scored. 2 runs have scored. Mori all the way to third base. A 2-run double for Yutaro Sugimoto, and the Buffaloes have tied the score 5-all.
Well, you wanted excitement.
I didn't want excitement. I wanted the Hawks to win. I don't know about you. I mean,
now both of you are going to be partisan. I'm just here for the good baseball. Anyway, it's worth noting, of course, that Sugimoto is one of the team leaders for RBI. With those 2 right there, I believe that puts him in the lead. Let me see. Where is his RBI number? There it is. He, with that, he's up to 14 RBIs, which is tied with Kotaro Kurebayashi, unless I'm looking at my notes incorrectly.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more runs and a lot more bullpen arms as we get through this game here.
That
my
is
goodness.
Long on and drilled. No, I'm kidding. Not drilled. Left field. Sack fly chance. Mori's racing home. Here's the throw from Akihiro. The relay is not in time. Tomoya Mori scores the go-ahead run. 6-5 Buffaloes. Nakagawa with a sack fly.
You know, the way the camera worked there, it looked like it was like a incredibly well-hit ball to like a short pop-out. Like the way the camera just panned back, I thought it was going to land in the infield.
Well, it's better than what I was thinking. I was looking at that like, oh, gosh.
That looked like a home run.
Yeah, and then it's like, nope, never mind. Hey, don't blame the camera work. Blame the commentator. That's on me. Anyway.
Not like we can chat with the camera truck, and even if we could, there's a language barrier.
Hey, I actually speak Japanese, but probably not well enough to do this in real time with Japanese-speaking people.
You both speak Japanese, don't you?
Well, I know Gabe's learning it.
I
gave up on learning it after my most
right?
recent trip to Japan.
I shouldn't unintentionally put words in your mouth, Gabe. I apologize. At last I knew you were studying it, but yes, I learned it quite a bit when I was there. So
I have gotten slack with that, unfortunately.
Here's Osato with a chance to continue adding damage here.
I was working on learning it, but between working full-time and school full-time, I just did not have the bandwidth.
You didn't want to do 3 jobs that are basically full-time? Oof.
Well, I mean, we're doing this one part-time, so yeah, I would have added to that too.
4 jobs? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I mean, it'd be fun to do this more than once a month, but I will take what we get. This is fantastic. That loops in there for a strike.
This strike zone is all over the place today.
I think that Uwasawa's curveball is all over the place today, is more correct to say. Now, I don't know if there's elevation, like, inherent in this situation, a la balls don't break at Coors Field, or what, but Osato fouls that off. It's 1-2. I really wish I could see pitch count, because I'm betting Uwasawa is getting pretty close to, like, 60 or 70 by now. And he's not even through the 3rd inning.
I saw it up on screen. It had 50 earlier this inning.
Gotcha. Was that before or after the Sugimoto at bat, which was almost Toshi Kiabe-esque? That is up the middle off of Uwasawa's glove. Nomura handles it, throws to first. Plenty of time for an out. And the final out of the inning.
I'm scoring that one 163, by the by.
Fair enough, because it did bounce off of Uwasawa's glove. And Uwasawa definitely not unscathed in that inning. The Buffaloes plate 4 more and take the lead 6-5.
So earlier I was trying to figure out if any of the players were from where we were watching the game from today, and none of them are, as far as I can tell. But I did realize a lot of Buffaloes are from Osaka, like a decent amount of them. So it's cool that some of them get to play for their hometown team.
The ballpark we're watching from, Heiwa Life Stadium in Kagoshima, can hold 21,000 people. It was built in 1970, and as you can tell, there's clearly a lot of room in the outfield if they wanted to add more seats. Still got a bit of a berm out there.
And do you know, does this field normally host high school, college, or what's the general use of this field?
General purpose.
Okay,
And of
cool.
course, NPB countryside games like the one you're watching right now.
I do. I love the countryside game thing. I wish more teams would do it in America. Well, any teams, say more.
The problem with doing that, Jimbo, is like the quality of the field. Even here, it's probably a little bit of is it a step down? You have to worry about that.
Yeah, like if teams ever had to play at the Olympic Stadium again in Montreal.
That is 6 inches of turf on top of hard concrete. I got to do a tour of the Olympic Stadium for my birthday one year. We almost got locked in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a bad birthday.
Or for
even
instance,
before you said getting locked in.
or for instance, a team that had never had a weather delay in its entire history, finally having to do one because of where they're playing. Here's Yuto Akihiro for his second time. He actually takes a pitch, which is more than he did last at bat. Sultani working quickly. That's 1-1 already.
I was about to say I'm surprised Sotani's still in, but I guess both guys are going to get at least 3 innings in here. Oof, nice pitch.
That slider is one of Sultani's best. Opponent's batting only 150 off it.
Swings well over the top of that for strike 3. Akihiro is set down on strikes. It's only Sultani's second strikeout of the contest, which for his usual numbers is a little low for what we'd expect by now. But maybe it's a sign that he's turning the corner.
Hit a speed bump, powering back up again.
I mean, we're in Japan, so it's only fair to try and make a Mario reference. Do you get hit by a blue shell?
Otaka Yamakawa's awards chest is definitely one of the most full in this game. 4 home run titles, including leading the Pacific League last year, 2018 Pacific League MVP, 5-time All-Star, 3 best nines, and of course, member of the 2023 WBC championship team.
Though still lacking that championship because, well, I mean, unless he was on the Lions' previous champion, I think you said that.
I think he was.
He was on the pennant winners. He does not have a ring yet.
Oh.
And he missed out on that last year after SoftBank choked in Japan Series. Could not check a swing on the first, and the second one was just a really darn good pitch.
Yeah, lost to the mobile game company Starfish.
Oh, okay.
They play in Yokohama.
Slapped into right field. It'll get down by Sugimoto. Yamakawa takes a big turn and decides finally to go back to first base, as Sugimoto apparently had trouble digging that out. Oh dear. That's funny.
Loudest single I've seen.
All right, so I've heard 4 team euphemisms for the other league. Gabe, what you got for the other 2 we haven't heard yet?
I don't know. I want them to come up naturally.
That's fair. That is totally fair. Although good luck getting the one I'm thinking of to come up naturally in conversation right now.
Who are the one? Oh, I thought of a funny one for one of them. I won't say it. And try to remember who the other team is.
Well, there's the Hiroshima Car Company Magikarp.
And the Los Angeles Tom Selleck's.
The Lost.
There you go. I like that one.
Alex, that's pretty good.
The big hit Happy Bodies. Yes.
Here is Hiroki Mine. This is the quality content you stick around for, folks. Thanks for checking it out.
Good baseball, questionable commentary. That should be our tagline, actually.
Hey, I am trying here, okay? I think we're doing great.
Oh, you're doing great. No.
It's also another good shot of the band. 2-0 on Mine.
Oh, love the rainbow wigs.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
The rainbow wigs. Oh, was that something on screen? I thought you were doing another team.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Those handheld signs there, let's see if I can get this point out. Those handheld signs there refer to the location, I believe, if I had my guess, that Mine is from. So one of the bigger cities in Fukuoka is called Hakata, which actually I think was like the previous name of Fukuoka Prefecture even. And the two kanji in Hiroki's given name are Hakata. And so they have a thing about like the pride of that place, Mine. Sorry, I'm not explaining this very well. Let me go back and say one more thing. The first kanji is from Haka, but then the second one is like of hope. So he's the hope of that spot, which was what they were saying. Yeah,
Japanese puns.
I don't know if it's so much of a pun. I thought it was really creative. But
isn't kanji like a nightmare to learn?
Yes, it totally is. It totally is. Unless you have some really good like memory tricks about like what the various parts are and what they stand for. Because trust me, there's a book you could write on them, or 5. That's fouled off into the cheap nosebleed seats back in what looked like a quote-unquote third deck.
I mean, you could always just use Japanese baseball players' names to learn the kanji. Lord knows I have.
Yep, that definitely works. But then you do sometimes get some odd readings. Or just rare ones, like Mine's first kanji is very, very difficult and very, very rarely seen. That's swung on down the right field line. Sugimoto Tongu kind of giving chase half-heartedly. It falls in play, but it is no. Rather than in the seats, I should say.
Pierre G. Hedgehog pointing out that one of those teams we mentioned from the other week, if their mascot was a starfish, that would be a lot of fun. That'd be great. That remind me of the old Chiba fish we used to have for the Marines.
The mysterious fish, yes.
The mysterious fish. Wow, I am missing out on so much.
Oh, you've seen the mysterious fish, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I only got into NPB like a couple of years ago. You forget.
Oh, you need to look that up like right now.
The mysterious fish, you say.
Also, everyone in chat, look up the Chiba Lotte Marines mysterious fish. And
Nakagawa calls off Osato and handles it for the second out of the inning. That's the book on Mine, though. He's the backup catcher. Doesn't get much time to be at the plate and doesn't do great at the plate when he's there. Coming up now is the number 9 hitter, Hikaru Kawase.
I had to smile at this tidbit I found on Kawase. He's nicknamed Munerin II for his similarities to a former Hawks legend and all-around great person, Munenori Kawasaki.
Ah, former Blue Jay. That's why you're so fond of him. Hey, he actually saw a strike. His last plate appearance, he got 4 straight balls.
Kawasaki is actually still playing independent ball in Japan. Baseball is better as long as Kawasaki's still in it.
Wasn't there also a recent retirement from like the reverse Japan, like born in the States, Gosuke Kato, who previously also was a Blue Jay, if I recall?
You recall correctly, broke in with the Blue Jays, but he was part of the Mets system, and he reverse posted from the Mets to the Fighters. First time that's ever happened.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, what?
Basically, the Fighters drafted him as if he was an amateur from the Mets AAA system.
Well, I mean, Japanese heritage, I think that was part of the way they could do that, although he wasn't born in the country. think he was born in California, if I'm not mistaken. 1-2 count, fouled off. That was some pretty loud contact, but decidedly not on time to get that in the field of play. It seems that Uwasawa is getting ready to come back out for the 4th inning. Talking to his catcher there, who just popped out. I don't know about. I guess I'm the only former baseball player who did it for a really long time in the group here, but it feels to me like the stadiums in Japan, there's a whole lot more ground behind home plate in foul territory that I feel like they use so differently. I wouldn't expect to be able to have a conversation between pitcher and catcher on the playing field because it wouldn't be safe. But maybe that's me.
No, it's not just you. You'll notice a lot of ballparks also elevate the fans away from ground level, specifically so they can show more adverts.
Whoo! You all right there, Kawase? Getting dirty.
大丈夫ですか?
大丈夫かな? まあ大丈夫みたいですけど. It looks all right, but that was a little bit of a limbering up of the lower half.
I have to ask at some point, what's going on with Kawase's bat knob? It looks like a bowling pin almost.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's pretty thick, yeah. Maybe it's a comfort thing. Although he also kind of like dangles the bat at a diagonal and away from him anyway. Slaps that into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Yamakawa gets to third base and sliding into second with apparently a double. Hikaru Kawase.
I am shocked Yamakawa made it to third base.
I'm not surprised if he took off with the pitch because it was a full
2
count.
out.
No, true. I guess so.
But for
I'm
what
curious
it's worth,
now. Does
for what
Yamakawa
it's
have
worth-
any stolen bases?
any career stolen bases? How would I know? For what it's worth, it would be very fun and a bunch of kismet for me to see there is a potential of a matchup between brothers in this game. Hikaru, who just got a double. His brother Kento pitches for the Buffaloes.
Ooh, that'll be some fun drama. Fun at the kitchen table afterwards. Also, Jimbo, I checked.
I said
You're not gonna believe
I want
this.
Matt to guess.
You want me to guess how many stolen bases he has career?
Yeah.
How long has he been playing? Can you give me that number at least?
He has been playing since 2014.
2014. So he's going on 11 seasons. 15.
Wow.
Lower.
You are so optimistic.
All right.
Like, we're talking single digits.
That was my next guess, to be fair. Before we reveal this, why don't we have people chime in the chat? How many career stolen bases do you think Otaka Yamakawa has?
Yeah,
Without
no,
looking up.
No cheating.
No cheating.
How many career stolen bases do Yamakawa have?
You know it's single digits. That much we will give you.
Whoever gets it right, we'll read your name. But we read everyone's name.
All of a sudden, a little bit of intrigue here in the bottom of the third. The top of the lineup turning over here with 2 runners in scoring position, but there are 2 outs. Here comes Shuto. How's Shuto been doing so far today at the plate, Gabe?
Came around and scored on a single in the second and had that very close play at first, back in the first. So 1 for 2 today.
And that's the same count he's in right now. That's not how that works. 1 and 2.
And we will reveal the number after the Shuto at bat. But I can say no one's gotten it so far. Just keep guessing.
Keep coming with your guesses. You never know. You miss every shot you don't take. Wasn't that attributed to former Ontario-born great Wayne Gretzky? That's a strikeout. Swing and a miss for Shuto. And the threat is extinguished. The Buffaloes still lead 6-5. Despite some excitement, Sotani's 3rd strikeout of the contest.
So, of everyone's guesses, the closest was Army Chow Mein with 2. Hotaki Yamakawa has a career home stolen base total of 1. Which I want to find video of. Like, when did he ever get a stolen base?
Optimistic indeed. Look at me go. Hey, I
And the
figured
best part is he got caught stealing once too.
I wish those were in the same season. If he got it once and then he was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna try again." Didn't work. He's like, "All right, that's enough of that." But no, he got caught stealing back in 2017, and then his one stolen base was in 2019.
Dang it! I was gonna guess that they happened in the same season because that would be hilarious. Like, he's
That
a
would be
rookie, he's gonna run.
What's wild for me is that he has 2 career triples, one of which was last year.
I remember that actually because that was hysterical. It's like a Prince Fielder triple.
Prince Fielder also got an inside the park home run. He was featured prominently on a thumbnail I saw of that very subject on YouTube recently.
I remember I saw some stat that Prince Fielder had more inside the park home runs than somebody.
Ricky Henderson.
Was it actually? Is that true? That's crazy.
Well, I mean, Ricky Henderson, right? He probably didn't try to leg out an inside the park home run. He either hit them over the fence or he wanted to steal bases. So
when you wake up tomorrow, you got to go find, I think it's part 2 or part 3 of the Dorktown Dave Steeb documentary, Captain Ahab, because Ricky Henderson was such a menace in the 1989 ALCS that he stole a part of Dave Steeb's own documentary, and it became a mini documentary called God Mode. He was just an absolute demon to the Blue Jays.
Ricky was the greatest. No question about that.
I remember saying it might have been Dorktown too, but I remember I saw somebody do a breakdown once of how good Ricky Henderson was, and it was ridiculous. Just like watching him steal bases. You just started walking after you got to first. It's like, you're not going to do anything. You can't stop me.
you knew he was going to go, and you couldn't stop him anyway. And that was before the bases were expanded by MLB. I actually haven't taken a really good look at this before. Hat tip to the grounds crew here, probably using some local baseball players as well, just for an indelible, unforgettable experience. But they're actively like re-chalking the batter's box, which is fascinating to me.
Small story time. Guess where I was 6 years ago at this day and time?
Watching an NPB game in Hokkaido. I don't know.
Not Hokkaido. I was in the left field stand, or I was in the left field corner at Yokohama Stadium.
Speaking of the starfish.
That was in the middle of my All Japan Great Baseball Train Tour. All 12 teams, all by train, all over 17 days. That was the middle of a stretch in which I had 4 games in 4 days. The Tall People, the Yogurt Birds, the Starfish, and then the Golden Eagles up in Sendai.
I've been to Sendai for a fun time. There was a ski resort in onsen that I went to with a group of people, and we flew through Sendai to get there. So, I mean, it's visiting Sendai in the way that I visited Tokyo for the first, 4 3/4 years of my time in Japan. It's like, oh, well, if the airports count, I've been to Tokyo.
I remember reading up on Uwasawa that he got a little bit of controversy associated with him because of how little time he spent in the majors, then going to the Hawks. Some Fighters fans were arguing, hey, you guys owe us free agent compensation. What gives?
Well, I mean, there's enough time in the middle. I don't know what the rules are, obviously, if they stated they should, because it wasn't far enough removed. They would have received free agent compensation.
It's sour grapes.
Well, and the thing is, an entire season happened in between. Uwasawa was trying to make a go of it over in the U.S. It just didn't happen. I mean, speaking of players who had to return to NBB, Kohei Arihara.
Yeah, it was funny. I was just thinking, I was like, I can think of 3 former fighters on the Hawks right away, just off the top of my head.
I don't know if Arihara was a former fighter, but there are plenty of people in the other league. Shogo Akiyama tried NPB and didn't. Tried MLB. There we go. Swung through that one 2-1. and ended up coming back, although not to the same team that he initially played for. For every Masahiro Tanaka who does return to his NPB squad, I'll finish that point in a second. Pop fly in the infield. That's not Osato, excuse me. That's Kawase calling off Nakamura and getting the first out of the inning.
But Kohei Arihara was a former fighter, and so is reigning PL MVP Kensuke Kondo.
Yeah, I knew Kondo was, but he was just traded because he obviously never went to MLB. But to finish the point, it was like probably more people that returned to a different team, but obviously to their home country, compared to the ones that returned to the same club. Strike one for Taishi Hirooka. He is 2 for 2, both singles, and both times he's come around to score. So if you took out Hirooka's accomplishments in this game, the Hawks would have a lead.
Needless to say, Hirooka's performance has made the Buffaloes miss Yumamune a little bit less.
I think you miss Yumamune far more than the team does, it seems.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Right. I think he's got to get himself right. I hope that his stint on the farm is good, because it's so great to see people of mixed heritage succeed at the NPB level. Obviously, Chusei Manami is a huge success story. Shun Mizutani hasn't been playing as much as I hoped he would for most improved player pick. Go check that preseason podcast out. Oh, God. Some of those things aged very poorly.
I called Yuya Ogo for a 30-30 season. Are you kidding me?
Speaking of a team that has not been in first place a single day this season, going wire to wire. Not to kick Jimbo while he's down or anything, but
hey, they'll come around. It's okay.
But that's not wire to wire. Strike 3. Hirooka goes down swinging.
One of my predictions was right, though. I called Marines last. So.
And Mike would be very unhappy about that. Speaking of which, Mike Bealey, we wish you were here, but we'll catch you on the next podcast.
Pierre Hedgehog asking, do we ever expect Nippon Ham to be first? I think we all picked the fighters to make the playoffs. So
make the playoffs.
I called them first. I called them taking the pennant.
I didn't see that, but also the Hawks being this bad was not on my radar. So
this bad. They're 500.
Yes, but
and I expected them to win 500 games. I mean,
the first like fortnight of the season where they were like, oh, for how many games?
Yeah, it was bad.
Just
it was
like, oh my God.
Start. Yeah.
That's hit weakly on the ground. There's Kawase picking it up. 4-3. Out number 2. Or 3. No, that's out number 3. Yeah, that's out number 3.
I guess it was.
That is a 1-2-3 inning for the first time today.
I was about to say that's the only 1-2-3 inning we've had so far. So good for me asking for action. By the way, for those of you keeping track at home, the highest scoring game for a broadcast that we have done is only 3 runs away.
We're not even halfway through the game yet, so we might get there.
It looks like we've got a new pitcher. Nope, it looks like it's still Totani.
Quick out-of-town scoreboard update. It is tied at 1s with Rakuten batting in the bottom of the 9th. Seigi Tanaka on the bump for the Fighters, trying to get the save. Ryosuke Tatsumi is standing at first, though. So we may be in walk-off territory for the Eagles against the Fighters. And at Zozo Marine Stadium, the Lions are leading 2-0 in the top of the 6th.
Sort of our predictions. I remember I predicted Kotaro Kiyomiya might win MVP. And then I remembered that's who I thought Sugimoto was. That time we did that game. I was like,
right.
There's Kotaro Kiyomiya. No, he's not. Why did I say that?
This is what we get for having 1 a.m. Eastern starts. Also, that refrain is Greatest Showman. Yeah, there's no questioning that. Okay. I kept hearing that. I'm like, wait, what? Greatest Showman? Really? Great movie if you've never seen it. But I'm also a music nut, so like, go figure.
Oh, Addy Bucket's watching from Hamburg. I was actually looking into moving to Germany at one point, and Hamburg was the place I wanted to go. So that's fun. Oh, East Bay pointing out that Sumita's been pitching for the Lions.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Imai and Sumita are the best 1-2 punch. Oh,
okay, never mind. Ground
I
out.
was like, well, real quick.
Well, that's some real quick action. 1 pitch, 1 out. Dotani can use a few more of those if he wants to go deep into this game. That's for sure.
There's something just so intrinsically baseball about. Oh, it's ground out.
Baseball is hard.
Yes. I mean, how many other sports can you fail 7 times out of 10, and if you do it for a career, you still have an argument for the Hall of Fame?
I feel like there's got to be a joke somewhere in here I'm going to figure out.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Something about
politics? Question mark.
Politics? What?
Just lobbing that out there.
Okay, your politics and my... No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of Hall of Fame, Hideto Asamura, Mei Kyukai,
Yeah.
the Golden Players Club with 2,000 hits. Does he get the
that's
call to the Hall eventually?
Oh, I would think so, absolutely.
I mean, depends on how much longer he plays. If he keeps compiling, obviously he was a really good player at his peak. Kind of building that graybeard status in, such that he's probably never rocked a beard in a game day of his life. But it is worth noting, of course, the Mei Kyukai is specifically like, you hit the threshold, you're in, it's done. See also Buffalo's former closer, Yoshihisa Hirano, in NPB and MLB combined, got his 250th save earlier this season.
I think that was just 250th in NPB.
In NPB alone, yeah. And Yanagi Machi working another walk. I say another like he's had one this game, but another because he is now in the league lead with 23 over teammate Akira Nakamura.
And he's reached all 3 times this season, or this game.
Yep.
I don't know, all 3 times this season. It's been a
I
weird year
mean,
for him.
if you're talking about the second baseman of the Buffaloes today, that'd be true. Osato's only seen like 4 at bats. Speaking of Nakamura, though, here he comes.
That 2-run RBI scoring Nomura and Yanagi Machi back in the first, and he flew out in his second at bat.
I'm
I
sure
was
he
just
would
looking
love
at
to
the
get a hit here.
statistics. Hideto Asamura is such an automatic slam dunk Hall of Famer. 9-time All-Star, 8 best 9, over 300 career home runs, and just got his 2000s hit. Like, absolutely, 1,000,000% Hall of Famer.
I don't have enough of an eye on history of the game and thresholds in the Hall of Fame Japan side to make a comment, but he feels to me like the kind of guy who should be hallowed forever for his accomplishments. So, for what that's worth.
Now I'm curious. Most All-Star games without making the Hall of Fame. I'm going to look into that.
Most All-Star games without making the Hall of Fame? You talking
Probably
NPB
Steve,
or?
actually? Well, I know NPB. I'm not going to find it. I'm just going to look up MLB.
Well, MLB specifically, I know there are a lot of people who the list that I'm always interested in and feel terrible for is most career wins above replacement without a single All-Star nod.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I was going to say, if you're looking at most All-Star nominations without getting to the Hall of Fame, there's a lot of people who ate a very special breakfast that you have to inclued on that list.
Yeah, I was going to say, I looked it up and it was like Barry Bonds. I'm like, right, that makes sense.
That was pretty
John
quick,
Dowd.
Ooh, Oh, Gary Sheffield.
Yeah, Gary Sheffield, another one who might have had a special breakfast. No, actually, no, we know he did, but he did not continue having a special breakfast. He didn't like those Wheaties, apparently.
Man, I just looked up Carlos Delgado out of curiosity. Only ever made 2 All-Star games. That's a crime.
It is a crime, but also look at the other first baseman in his era.
Justice for King Carlos.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like you can only play at the time you can play, and if you have so many like historical figures at a position, it's hard to compare. See, also, who was it? Was it John Valentine, maybe, who didn't get a single All-Star game despite having a better season than the incumbent All-Stars of like Garcia Parra, Jeter, and A-Rod back in the early 90s.
Joe Torre was a 9-time All-Star and 4-time World Series champion.
But he ended up going into the Hall of Fame just as a manager.
Yeah, but
2-2 the count. And the lefty sniper hits it into left field, and it's caught by Nishikawa.
Looks like a repeat of the last at bat.
Maybe
Very
a few
similar.
steps, closer to the line, but very, very similar. Very Ichiro-esque, flatten the bat out. You're practically out of the box when you hit the ball. Kurihara, obviously, not so hot in this game. He's 0 for 2. Good time to change that. Ryoya looks at the ball outside. Yeah, he's not even hitting 200 on the season, according to this graphic right here.
That said, you can afford to have one slumping batter because the rest of this team is hitting like 300 and can pick him up. You just can't make an entire lineup of slumps.
Well, and the other thing is that, like, by the time he gets right again, we might see more people returning from the injured list. So, you know, watch out. It's kind of a talk about, say, the Atlanta Bravos, right? You know, if they can't all be this bad all year, so when they get going,
You never know. Sometimes they could just be bad all year. Whoa, big swing.
I mean, there are some people who would really appreciate them being bad every year, namely Mets, Phillies, and or Marlins fans.
I was gonna say, any human being, any decent
Hey now,
human being.
hey now. You're a Yankees fan. You don't get to talk.
That's true. Yeah.
That's fouled off.
In my defense, I'm actually an Expos fan. They just don't exist anymore.
I mean, yeah, from one team of a nation to another.
I do like the. I mean, I always hope the Nationals do well. I just wouldn't say I'm a fan of them.
Well, that would definitely encourage you to root against the Braves.
Yeah,
2-2
exactly.
the count. Count is now full. Sotani, after a lot of trouble in the very first inning and the second inning as well, to a certain extent, the last two innings have been pretty easy for him. Here comes the payoff pitch. Hit into center field. Rushing over to make the catch. Keita Nakagawa steps in front of Ryoma Nishikawa and ends the bottom of the fourth inning. Score is still Hawks 5, Buffaloes 6. Gabe, I think now would be a pretty good time if Uesawa gets his warm-up pitches in to talk about something you were bringing up in the chat behind the scenes here. Go for it.
Yep. Well, you mentioned the various names that the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks have had over their history. They started as the Nankai Hawks, wearing a resplendent green uniform and based in Osaka because they were owned and operated by the Nankai Railway Company. There were a lot of railway-based teams in Osaka around the time. Of course, the Hanshin Tigers, the aforementioned Western Railway Kitties, the Kintetsu Buffaloes, who are now the Orix Buffaloes that you see here. And the Nankai Corporation kept the club together for about 50 years before selling it on to the Daiei supermarket chain, who moved them to Fukuoka in 1988. After a few years under their ownership, Daiei went bankrupt in 2003. The SoftBank Corporation snapped them up at that time. If you are in Osaka at any point and you swing by the Namba Parks shopping complex, go up to the roof. The 9th floor has a Nankai Hawks gallery and museum that is free to the public. And you can see artifacts like Tatsuya Nomura's jersey and catching gear. He is, of course, the second greatest home run hitter in all of Japan, the greatest in the Pacific League, over 650 of them as a catcher.
Thank you very much for that history corner, Gabe. I always appreciate being able to learn more about this league because it's been going on for well longer than I've been alive, and I've only been following for 2 years. Kurebayashi swings at the first pitch and lines it into right field. It'll drop in front of Yanagimachi, and Kurebayashi has a single.
I quickly caught a glimpse at the first base coach. That's former Buffalo's infielder, Ryoichi Adachi.
Didn't he just retire last year?
Yep, he's a player manager now, or he's a retired player.
I was about to say he's a coach. I was just saying now he's just a coach.
And I think their third base coach is former Orix Blue Wave and St. Louis Cardinal, Sol Taguchi.
Orix Blue Wave. Weren't they Ichiro's club as well?
That's right. And one half of the merger that formed this Orix Buffaloes organization.
That's why we went from Kintetsu to Orix, and they stole the company from the Blue Wave. Makes sense. Yuma Tongu looks at a pitch that is down, apparently, ball one.
Blair in the USA asks, they were the kinky great ring at one point, right?
That's right.
Yep.
As I said that, I'm like, am I getting trolled? Am I allowed to say
No,
these
you are not. You are not getting trolled. There's a region. Yeah, no, it's totally right. It is just funny.
Yeah, Kansai can also be referred to as the Kinki region.
Yep.
Kinky.
Ki, not Y.
When it comes to Yuma Tongu, there's a fun fact around his jersey number, 44. One of the more famous players in the franchise to wear it, Greg Boomer Wells.
Oh, not Hank.
With the Hankyu Braves. To that point, Yuma Tongu has even taken on the nickname Yumer as opposed to Boomer. And he's got one of Boomer Wells' gloves as a present. Boomer's pleased with how Tongu is played wearing his jersey.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do something out of respect for somebody, it's always nice when they do well. Tongu's batting results today. What you got for us on that? As it looks at
Tongu popped out to the first baseman and his first time up, but hit an RBI single and came around and scored in the third. In that 4-run outburst that made this game, the score is today.
And apparently Tongu's Owendan is the same one they used before for Boomer before they changed it in 2023.
It is worth mentioning that Tongu, with that RBI from earlier, has increased his team lead. I think, well, except for Ota. I guess Ota has the most. But in the lineup today, he has the most RBI this season so far with 19.
One last fun point on Boomer Wells. I think you can still find it on YouTube. A commercial he did for the pastime analgesic cream, where he keeps getting hit by pitches.
That's over the glove of Kurihara. And that'll be another hit for Tongu. Kurebayashi, excuse me. I almost said Kuribayashi. That's a guy from the other league. Advances to second base.
Oh, no, there's another Ibayashi guy out there that I'm not aware of.
Hey, all of them are slightly different because you have one that's A, one that's I, and one that's E.
I'll never.
You only have to deal with two. It's okay.
Poor Kuri.
Well, I mean,
Murabaya's been having a rough game over at third base. The error, that one just over his mitt.
Yeah. Did we get an official score decision if that was an error on Kurihara, that first one for Keita Nakagawa? Because I never saw them do an official scores decision of whether that was a hit or an error.
Checking the box score. Yep, that's an error.
That's trademark Tomoya Mori there with that sort of coiled snake-like swing, only to end up spinning himself out of his boots there.
Extra innings at Rakumo. The Eagles loaded the bases, but could not collect against Seiji Tanaka.
Justice has been served. Yeah, you can tell he's a catcher. Look at that crouch after that spin around.
What I'm trying to figure out is, have we ever seen two league MVPs play on opposing squads that weren't the teams they won the MVP with?
Oh, boy.
We don't have a stats team to figure that one out, unfortunately.
I mean, if anyone in the chat is like supremely knowledgeable and possibly interested to maybe consider adding their services, cheap plug over. Where's Mike when you need him?
I'm trying to even like think there it would. I don't think I
He's
could even
sleeping.
try to
That's
figure that
where.
out.
I mean, if he's smart, he's sleeping. That's true. As it gets to nearly 1 o'clock in Mountain Time.
Yeah, coming around 3 a.m. here on the East Coast.
I'm hanging on with my fingernails, chaps.
Good to know. That's a strike. He's now down 1-2, but a big spot here. Uesawa's having another inning of traffic. Obviously, just last inning, he got a 1-2-3 inning. The first one either team has delivered in this game, as memory serves. But very, very big threat to deal with right here at the plate.
It's funny, I Googled PL MVP and started reading articles about Mo Salah. And I was like, what the?
Wrong PL.
Yep.
One definite benefit of Japan being so tightly clustered, excluding Okinawa for obvious reason, cheering sections really do travel so well to NPB games.
So wait, now MVP's facing off. Did you ask that because you realized that we have that this game, or were you asking if it's ever happened?
I'm asking because we have that this game.
Okay, yeah,
because Mori's the 2018, or either Mori's the 2019 and Yamakawa's the 2018.
But both were with the Lions at the time. Mori slugs it to right field. It is down off the top of the wall. Yanagimachi throws it in quick, but that's not going to stop a run from scoring. And Mori ends up with the run-scoring double.
I believe Tomoyo Mori was the first home run call I made on one of these broadcasts 2 years ago.
The guy who's coming up right now is the first home run call I made on one of these, and it was completely by, like, happenstance. Because we weren't originally scheduled to broadcast the Buffaloes game that night. There comes Kurano again, another confab. That was in Mori's happy place. If he had just been a little bit further ahead of that and gone down the line, it probably could have been a home run.
That looked like it was off the mesh part of the fence above it.
It did seem like it was. Well, let's hold that thought because we are losing our starting pitcher. Kohei Arihara is being replaced.
Absolutely not Kohei Arihara.
That is not Kohei Arihara. Another MLB washout. Whoops, my bad. Now Yuki Iwasawa has left this game after 4 innings plus of work, given up 7 runs, most of them earned. Yeah, I think all of them earned because the error didn't come around to score. And I mean, it was not one of his best starts. 4 innings, 92 pitches, gave up 7 runs, walked 1, 3 strikeouts, and I'm not entirely sure what that last conk is supposed to be, but 9 hits. Oh, the home run. That's what that is. The home run he gave up to Ryoma Nishikawa. So the final line for Uesawa in the books. We'll see who the Hawks call from the pen. Number 53. I should know who this is because I have these numbers somewhere. That is Ryo Oyama taking the mound. And now I am going to send my team scrambling here to find stuff about his pitch mix. So far this season, 14 appearances, a 1-1 record, including 1 save. His ERA is at 2.93. He also has 12 strikeouts to 6 walks, 2 of those intentional. But his record thus far, obviously, he has not gotten the decision in most of his appearances.
Ryo Yama, I hardly even know her.
That was a
Thank
stretch,
you.
Jimbo.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, what a swing.
I mean, Sugimoto's known for being a bopper. If he gets the ball out and gets to hit the Raul pose, it would be a very fun callback to when I ended up taking over play-by-play for that game, and I had to try out the home run call like immediately. As a check, appeal to first base. He did not swing. Count is 1-1.
Wait, was that one that looked like a normal flyout that just like
Yeah,
landed
it just
right,
kept going.
right, yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, wait a second, what? And I was so surprised that I was like not doing the call, and then I'm like, okay, let me do this with an actual home run call, and tried it again.
It's like the opposite of that Nishikawa hit earlier.
Right, right.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness,
Yeah,
ugly swings here.
He was trying to get my home run call. That is that swing. It looks like our crack research team, namely Gabe, has got a pitch mix for Oyama. What you got there, Gabe? Maybe.
Or not. No.
Or not.
Oyama will throw a mix of sliders, cutters, curve, splitters, changeup, and two-seamer. He can ramp his fastball velocity up to 95 miles an hour.
That's hit in the air to left field. Drifting back is Akihiro. He's at the wall. It is stealing out of here. And Yutaro Sugimoto with the big blast to make this lead even better for the Buffaloes. Remember when I said he was charged with 7 runs? Yeah, he's charged with more than that now.
And with that, go on.
I was gonna say that's a 2-run homer, the second home run given up by Hawks pitchers this game.
And with that, we've broken our Pacific League TV live stream record.
Raul pose
15 runs.
Of the dugout. Well, I'm not sure. Did it really just jump to like 10? Because I could have sworn that we weren't that. Oh, it's a 3-run shot, maybe.
Yeah, it was a
3-1 shot.
Oh, okay. That's my
Hongu
mistake.
and Mori scoring on that one.
And again, once again, just it kind of looked like a fly ball, then just kept going.
That one though, I had a kind of a feeling, because I got it ramped up and it actually worked. I love it when it does that instead of like, he catches it on the warning track. Keita Nakagawa now with the bases empty. So final line, technically speaking, is now 9 runs, all of them earned to Uwasawa. Oyama gets one for the batter he faced that hit the 3-run homer. Sugimoto's 5th home run of the season. That's slugged down the line. Kurihara handles it on the hot shot, and there is an out. Now, it tells you how this inning is gone for the Buffaloes. That's the first out of the inning.
It's so weird when the fans stop like for a moment like that. It freaks me out every time.
Apologies. I was writing.
No, it's never your fault. It's the fans who just go from cheering and playing all their music.
It's the asphalt.
Everyone across the stadium just stops talking.
Osato's average has already halved itself. Coming into this game, he was hitting 500, which, again, 1 for 2 is nothing to sneeze at. Small sample size. It's decidedly less good now.
I just can't believe we've seen a 10-run game.
For one team. I mean, we've still got 5 on the other side.
Yeah, that's true. We still got half a game to go.
Hey, it's our highest scoring game that we've done on one of these broadcasts.
Jimbo and I are absolutely going to see the sunrise.
Yeah. I remember East Bay was joking way earlier in the chat on the over-under of this game being 20 runs. And I was going to joke the over, but it looks like that's where we're going.
20 runs? Well, I mean, the Hawks offense has gone cold the last couple innings. Sotani has been definitely finding himself.
At this rate, Mike can probably wake up and take over for us in the 6th.
I mean, I'm not planning to go to sleep. That is a passed ball. Mine had a glove on it and went and by him. I mean, it's not like a runner's going to take advantage of that because they were all scoring on the Sugimoto home run. By the way, early candidate for player of the game, Sugimoto has 5 runs batted in.
Yet the way this game's going, that might not even be the MVP. Someone might get even more.
Well, I mean, it's Yutaro Sugimoto 5, SoftBank Hawks 5. Too bad the Buffaloes have 5 more.
I did a quick check on Sho Fukunaga's debut. His NPB Top Club debut game was kind of a hard one for the entire Buffaloes lineup. It was the Roki Sasaki 19 strikeout perfecto.
Ooh.
Welcome to the bigs, kid.
And here's your 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. I'm kidding. I don't know if it was specifically that, but just it feels like it should have been.
I just remember the first midnight matinee we did in, I think it was 2022. We had Roki Sasaki start, and his 17-inning perfect streak was lost on the first pitch of the game. Shuhei Fukuda punched it into center field.
Nice. Always great to be a part of history.
Always great to manifest stuff, yes.
Is that the podcast jinx?
Well,
I don't think the podcast even existed at that point.
That's true, actually.
It's like, oh, well, we're going to broadcast and Roki Sasaki's getting the start. Come watch him try and extend his perfect streak. Yeah, right. And that is hit into the outfield. Underneath it is Shuto drifting over and makes the catch. Retreating to first is Osato.
And for those in the chat who don't know, we keep mentioning the podcast. We do a weekly podcast among us here where we talk about the weekly goings-on all around the league and give us our little analysis and trademark sense of humor as the night goes on. Though maybe not as much as we do on the live broadcast here where we are sleep-deprived and doing
I was going to say, we're a lot more lucid on the podcast. Give us some credit.
The live broadcasts are like where it's at, man. This is so fun. If you want,
we should start doing podcasts at 1 a.m.
No, I was going to suggest if you want hinged us, go check out the podcast.
And Abandoned Rocket Ship, it's the podcast, so PA cast, and you can find it right here on this channel.
So wherever you're watching this, just go subscribe to that channel, like this video, and do all that fun YouTube-y stuff, and check out our podcast. So we have one release pretty much every week of the regular season.
The rumbling of keyboard.
Apologies.
No worries. Mine's probably kind of loud too. One thing that I somehow just looked down at the absolute wrong time is that Osato was hit with a pitch. And he's now standing on first base. He didn't advance because it was just a simple pop fly. But I was like, why is there a runner? Yeah, if you want hinged and sane and like coherent us, check out the podcast. If you like the podcast Crew After Dark, oh, that's awful. Yep. Oh, slick handling by Hikaru Kawase off the deflection, and manages to grab the short way for the final out of the inning. Not that it was a bad inning for the Buffaloes. They scored another 4 runs, 3 of them all thanks to that man right there, Yutaro Sugimoto, his 5th home run of the season. We are halfway through this contest, assuming no extra inning shenanigans. It is 10 Buffaloes, 5 for the Hawks.
And speaking of the podcast and other broadcasts we do still have other live streams coming up for you guys. Our next game live will be Sunday, July 6th at midnight Eastern Time, where the Fighters will be hosting the Eagles. Another game we have coming up is Sunday, August 17th, also at midnight, where the Buffaloes will be hosting the Lions. And our final broadcast of the season, Saturday, September 26th, a 5 a.m. baseball for breakfast game between the as the Marines host the Fighters. So come on down for all those. Mark them on your calendars. But you will also get a update on your YouTube if you're subscribed to this channel.
It's worth mentioning that I will decidedly not be trying to stay up until my 3 a.m. to be on the broadcast. So good luck with that, Jimbo, and presumably Mike.
Yeah, that's a me special. And Gordo asking why there's no grass in this infield. I think a lot of the more amateur teams have dirt infields, and this is one of those countryside games, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast. A little refresher for those of you who are new here. Every year, the MPB teams do games out in sort of more parochial rural areas for the fans that don't get to see the teams play in the big cities. So this is one of those games where they're playing down in Kagoshima in the southern part of Fukuoka Island.
It is worth noting that the Koshien tournaments as well, they have a all-dirt infield because that stadium does, but the team that plays there resides in the other league, so we don't really get to see it very much. New pitcher for the Buffaloes looks to be Taisuke Yamaoka. He of the death ball.
So Soltani also only going 4 innings, just 4 slightly cleaner ones. Yamaoka, former starting pitcher, no surprise he's being called on here for a little bit of long relief in a lower leverage situation.
5 appearances thus far this season, thanks to a bit of time off. Here's Yuto Akihiro facing his first pitch. Drills in there for a strike. The graphic was saying that Yamaoka is 0-1 in his 5 appearances thus far.
He's also a Premier 12 champion. He was part of the Samurai Japan team that won it in 2019.
It seems like this is an Altuve Judge matchup if Altuve pitched.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
He looks like a child out there.
Well, that's because Akihiro is so tall. Speaking of Akihiro, he grounds it to Osato. Easy throw over to Tongu, and there is your first out of the inning. Let me see if I can find some data on our man here about his height.
I was about to look that up.
172 centimeters, 5'7".
I was going to say that's a full foot shorter than wow. Okay, all right. Well, Altuve is actually a little shorter than that, and Aaron Judge is not quite 6'7". Yamakawa pops it into the shallow outfield. Kuraibayashi calling, but Nishikawa calls him off and makes the catch.
Very quickly 2 out.
Well, you know, I mean, as I was saying, that the Hawks offense, despite their 2 big innings against Sultaning, have really not done much since. Thank goodness.
Yamaoka's got a 6-pitch mix that he uses, primarily a fastball slider type guy, but he'll mix in a cutter, a changeup, a curveball, and a splitter. Last of those very infrequently. Curveball and splitter about 2% of the time each.
I've read somewhere that he's known for having the death ball, and I'm not sure which of those pitches would be considered the death ball if you happen
that
to
would be
know
his vertical slider as opposed to a horizontal slider which moves left or right like a sweeper. This thing just goes straight down.
It's just a curveball.
Oh, we have a pinch hitter. It's Riku Watanabe pinch hitting for Hiroki Mine.
I love this because it's 00 pinch hitting for 0.
Should 00 and 0 be different uniform numbers? This is just a weird play.
All right.
I mean, I think it's fine.
No, that's Mine. My mistake.
Mine. So it wasn't 0. It would be Kawase is 0, but he's still due up, I think.
My bad.
That's okay. Super exciting. And that's grounded, and Osato getting some more work this inning. And puts it away in a 1-2-3 inning. This time the first for the Buffaloes this game.
I don't know why I don't like 00 as a uniform number. Single 0 is good. If you want to be 00, you got to be Jim Otto. And you ain't Jim Otto, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a baseball version of that. Martin Biron.
Gabe, would you like to do the recap?
Sure thing. Let's start things off right here at the top of the first. Uesawa deals. Nishikawa blasts this into deep right field for the game's first runs. No out, and the Buffaloes with an early 2-0 lead. That home run, of course, Ryoma Nishikawa's 1,000th career NPB hit. Bottom of the first, 2-man on for Akira Nakamura but against Ryuhei Soltani, and the lefty sniper shoots this one between the legs, cashing in a pair of runs to knot things up right away. Otaka Yamakawa, the big bopper, sneaks this through the 5-6 gap. That'll be Nakamura getting the wave and scoring, handing the Hawks a 3-2 lead. We skip ahead to the bottom of the second. 2 runners on for Isami Nomura, the shortstop. Pops this up into center field. Nakagawa makes the catch. Kawase scores. Shuto tagging. That'll be Yanagi Machi hitting another one through the 5-6 hole. That is the easiest send decision of all time with its Ukyo Shuto. Hawks build their lead. That makes it 5-2. Buffaloes storming back the following inning. Yuma Tongu shoots this one straight back through the box, cashing in Taishi Hirooka and Yutaro Sugimoto. Hard line drive, the opposite field. Yanagi Machi will be on it, but 2 runs will score. Buffaloes tying it back up. Keita Nakagawa drills this to left, deep enough for Tomoya Mori to tag and score and hand the Buffaloes the lead. 6-5. Neither starting pitcher looking particularly good this time around. Hawks on the base paths. Ukyo Shuto swings and misses on a slider. Soltani able to pitch his way out of a jam and hold the Hawks scoreless. And just last inning, the top of the 5th. Tomoya Mori off the wall. Yanagi Machi will collect it, but Kurebayashi will score. Mori thrilled about it. Uesawa, not so much. Uesawa will leave the game, hand things over to Ryo Oyama, and this happens. Yutaro Sugimoto into the Owendon for a 3-run jack. That puts the score where it is now, 10-5 for the Buffaloes through 5 innings. I colloquially call a score that's the leading team has scored double-digit runs and the margin is 5 or larger, a comedy score.
If you want an out-of-town scoreboard update, including the other league's games, you can check on the screen right now. Pertinent to the Pacific League, the Lions have increased the lead to 5-0 over the Marines at Zozo Marine, and is now the top of the 11th in Rakumo. Fighters, Eagles tied at 1.
And remember, if games go 12 innings and finish the 12th, that game is a tie.
Decidedly different from MLB rules. Also different from MLB rules, no automatic runner on second. I know Gabe is very happy about this.
Yes, no Manfred man. Not just me. There's a bunch of baseball purists who would enjoy watching Pacific League baseball. And if you want to watch more, be sure to catch our partners, FDS Sports and WatchDingo.com for every single game throughout the season if you're located in North America. Around the world, though, PacificLeague.com has your coverage, live game broadcasts, including the farm team, and an archive going back 12 years. Heck, you could even watch me at my first NPB game. Take a look at one of the games in August when the Eagles visit the Marines. You'll spot me wearing a Blue Jays jersey up the third base line.
Of course you'd wear a Blue Jays jersey. It's almost as automatic as Jimbo wearing an... Oh, never mind. He probably wouldn't wear an Expos jersey. He'd probably wear a Yankees jersey anymore. What do you say about that, Jimbo?
I don't know, actually. I'm trying to think. I don't know either. I don't know. What would I do?
Oh, you got to fix that.
Yeah, I guess. Actually, I think I have a Mets jersey. No, actually,
Mets.
God,
Oh boy.
yeah, no. I have a Johan.
Oh,
I
boy.
had a Johan Santana jersey in high school, and now I'm
Hey.
thinking about it. I have no idea where that is.
Hey, if you had a Johan Santana jersey, at least you picked a good player to have a jersey of. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I was a fan of Johan Santana back when he was with my dad's hometown team, the Minnesota Twins, winning Cy Youngs.
Yeah, no. Twins Johan Santana was a beast.
Absolute monster, and yet still didn't get the light of day on the Hall of Fame vote.
That's criminal. But,
Well, I mean,
but then again, no. I mean, he did really fall off the latter end of his career because of all the injuries. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, he threw that no-hitter first in Mets franchise history, and he was never the same.
Yeah.
And looks like we're going to have a ghost as the starting pitcher.
Well, it's not a starting pitcher. It's a question of whether Oyama comes back out. Are they possibly like... Oh, well, they were watering down the infield dirt and all that stuff, too, so they're probably letting the grounds crew
The
finish
relief
that.
pitcher is Johan Santana's Hall of Fame chances.
Ouch! Ouch! That hurts deeply.
Trying to think, my favorite jerseys I have a Yanagita. I have a Takeo Nakamura summer jersey from 2 years ago that I love. And I have a Kensuke Kondo summer jersey from last season. But my favorite all time, I have like an old school retro Jim Brown jersey of the Cleveland Browns that my dad got me for Christmas one year.
Ooh.
That is very near and dear to my heart.
Fair enough.
As a long-suffering Cleveland Browns fan.
Factory of Sadness.
I also had a Brady Quinn jersey in high school. That's actually one of my favorites, just for the pure like awfulness of it.
Oyama is coming back out for a second inning of work. They have a change behind the plate. It'll be Riku Watanabe, who did hit pinch hit for Hiroki Mine, is now taking over behind the dish.
Actually, with all this jersey talk, in the chat, what's your favorite jersey that you have, or alternatively, what's a jersey you really want? Or also even just like your favorite piece of sports wearable merchandise that you have. I have a Brooklyn Cyclone cap, for example, that I quite like.
Ooh,
Even though I'm not a hat guy.
All right, here comes Yoma Nishikawa. Nishikawa, thus far in the game, had the 2-run homer, his second. I think it was actually his. No, it was his second of the year. Then he had a single his second time up. Did come around to score on that. He is 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 runs batted in.
I think someone else had their first home run of the game earlier. Well, huge swing and a miss there.
Well, I know that there was one. They were showing Hikaru Kawase's highlight from SCON, and I'm like, oh, is that his only home run? And sure enough, it went to the scoreboard and showed it was his only home run. Nishikawa to wit. Hold on, let me find it here.
Scott in the chat saying he has a Calgary Cannons baseball cap. I've never heard of that and I want to see what that looks like. I'm going to check that out.
Yes, it was Nishikawa's second home run.
Oh, what a delightful logo. Oh my goodness, I love that.
Finding more for you that you want for your collection, huh?
I'm not a big hat guy, actually. I'm a big jersey guy. But the jersey's pretty nice too. My head's too big for hats.
The hats are easier to come by price-wise, but like also not as distinctive. And that is on the ground, easily picked up by Hikaru Kawase. Flips it to Akira Nakamura for the outs. And almost identical to his last at-bats. 4-3 on the ground out. There's 1 out in the inning.
An Oakland Oaks 1939 road jersey. What is that?
Well, exactly what it sounds like, but I don't know what it looks like.
Oakland Oaks. I'm seeing like, is it a basketball thing? Okay.
Possibly. Well, I mean, Oakland has a very complicated history with professional sports. I mean, they had an NHL franchise that left. They had the NFL franchise that left. They had an NBA franchise that left. And now to complete the circuit, an MLB franchise that left.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
It's terribly sad, especially when you see where the A's are playing right now.
Especially because all those teams had history except the NHL team. It's
the NHL team was only there for like a couple years. It was an expansion thing, I think.
Was the Oakland Seals?
Yeah, the Oakland Seals. Kurebayashi hits that off himself. Decides to do a little jog lap around home plate to make sure he's okay. Yeah, it was the Oakland Seals.
Oh, what a ghastly logo. Oh my goodness. Everyone check. Go look up the Oakland Seals logo. That is disgusting.
Oh, that when you said ghastly. I thought you were talking about the Oakland Oaks. Anyway, that's skied down the third base line. Kurihara drifting over into foul territory. Looks like he has room and makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Devin Kinch in the chat saying he wants a Hideki Matsui Giants jersey. That's one of the very few Central League jerseys I would love to have, actually. That is very nice.
Here is Yuma Tongu. He has 2 hits in the game. One was a run-scoring hit. He is 2 for 3 on the day thus far and has scored twice. We'll see if Oyama can keep this up, and my power to manifest is... I didn't even manifest that as a strike. That was just the umpire right there. Like, you saw how bad that frame job was. I swear, I don't want to say it because I say it literally every time I'm in the booth, but, like, that was a terrible frame job. Quickly 0-2.
We see some people in the chat mentioning the Winnipeg Golden Eyes. Decent hat logo, but they're like a mascot thing. Oh, that's an older one.
Was that like an AHL team?
I don't know. Let's see.
The Winnipeg Golden Eyes. Because you wouldn't think it'd be it could be minor league baseball, but probably that or hockey, right? That slaps through the hole, and Tongu with another base hit. He has not hit anything huge. I mean, he's got 3 singles, but he is 3 for 4.
Hey, that's a Moda show's a Moda show. I'm not going to discount it.
Moda show. Yes, correct. The fancy term that they give for 3 hit or more games. And even if they're singles, the hits all count the same.
What do we say? The only rule is it has to work.
There's that. There is that. So much for the 1-2-3 inning. I did indeed manifest that it didn't happen. Tomoya Mori steps up now. Mori ended up getting robbed on a fantastic defensive play by Akira Nakamura in the first with a scalded hit down the first base line. He also had the 2-run double, or no, the RBI double. It wasn't a 2-run double, excuse me. He walked and scored a run as well. Actually, he scored twice. He came around later that inning. That was in there for strike 1.
Ooh, J-Dog saying he would like one of those red and black fighters jerseys, the ones that we've argued about ad nauseum. I think
the
on the
pop
show.
collars ones, yes.
Those are so fire.
I guess the person who's here to say they aren't fire isn't here.
Oh no, I think Gabe.
I don't know if I care. Oh, you thought Gabe hates them? I don't know. I missed that one. That's strike 2. Despite how far Mori stands on the plate, he thought it was a ball, but it was over the plate. So 1-2 count. That is one disadvantage of like having such a leg kick that he stands so close to the plate, and I know it's a timing mechanism, but he's like essentially forfeiting any pitches that come that close inside that could be called strikes because he's trying to back out of the way.
Yeah, he's not hitting a lot of stuff low and in like that.
It does beg the question, has Mori ever been like hit on the foot because of the leg kick?
Oh, I mean, he wears that shin guard, I would imagine.
Sure, but that could just be trying to combat the occasional plunk, you know, or fouling it off his shin himself, kind of a thing. 2-2 count with a runner on first. The runner is Tongu, his 3rd hit of the game. We are in the top half of the 6th. Orix leads 10-5. The 2-2 pitch. See, that one didn't have a shin guard.
Naptown Kid saying that he hates those red and black fighters uniforms. I mean, someone, we always have to have someone be wrong when we're talking about those things.
I was going to say, it's good to have all these opinions represented.
Even the wrong
one. and for what it's worth, if you guys like chiming in on these live broadcasts, I bet you would love chiming in on our question of the week for our podcasts. That slugs just.
Ooh.
Okay, that deserves the star. Holy mackerel, that was a heck of a catch from Isami Nomura.
That's a definite saying hello to future Gabe there.
Yes, probably future me this week, but either way, that was a heck of a play.
I am shook.
I mean, that looked like it was ticketed for left field, and then Nomura comes out of nowhere. And I don't know if it was quite a snow cone, but it sure looked like one. But what a play.
And so, Gabe, we were talking earlier about our favorite jerseys and pieces of sort of wearable memorabilia. I know you're a big hat guy. What are your favorite hats, and what's your favorite jersey that you own?
Favorite hat and favorite jersey are both from the same kit. It's from the 2001 to 2004 Osaka Kintetsu Buffaloes with that beautiful Kintetsu Buffalo logo in white on the cap. And the jersey got Osaka on the front, Tuffy Rhodes on the back.
Ooh, nice. Very good.
Justice for Tuffy.
Just a fun little thing that you're hearing right now is very similar to the thing that we have to do the intro for all of our podcasts. So if you'd like to hear somebody singing a cappella multi-tracks for a baseball podcast, didn't expect that one, did you? You should probably go check out our podcast. They're great. We have a lot of fun recording them. I think that's not Yamaoka. Yep, that is Shota Abe is now in the game, pitching for the Orix Buffaloes. Yamaoka went one inning and had no troubles with his inning.
Smaller pitch mix for Shota Abe, but he works it just as effectively. Fastball topping out in the low 90s, a forkball and a cutter. This is his second straight season with an ERA under 2. In his first full year with the Buffaloes back in 2022, that ERA was .61. He has been very good as a reliever for this club.
And Abe is yet another Buffalo from Osaka.
And here comes Hikaru Kawase to bat. Takes one called inside. Had the double his last time up. He also walked in his first plate appearance. .250 batting average on the season so far. The one home run you saw a recap of earlier.
Oh no, I recognize the cheer song for Kawase again. It's Bring Bang Bang Boom, that TikTok song from one of the recent anime.
That is not not TikTok song, anime song, and a very good one.
Look at those kid band and cheerleaders go. Grounded quickly to second base. Osato handles it and throws out his counterpart at first.
Osato's been busy, quietly effective.
Yeah, I mean, we've been peppering him with a bunch of hits. There are a lot of left-handed bats in this Hawks lineup, though, and they're just pulling a lot of stuff on the ground. According to my notes here, and by no means is this, like, great, but I think he's gotten, like, 4 plays in the last 3 innings now.
I count only 3, but close enough.
Well, that doesn't even count the one from robbing this batter, Ukyo Shuto, in the first.
That's true.
So he had Nomura 2 innings ago, Akihiro and Watanabe, the pinch hitter, last inning. and just now Kawase. And Abe is having a little hard time finding the zone here.
He wants to increase the difficulty by putting Shuto on base.
I mean, that definitely would increase the difficulty. Shuto has only been on base once. He grounded out, as previously mentioned, and struck out swinging his last time up. In between, he mixed in a single, and he did come around to score a run. And that is called ball 4, and he will be on base via balls.
The speediest speed boy, Ukyo Shuto.
I mean, if you look at the league leaders, it's populated with Eagles and then Shuto down a ways, mostly due to time missed. How's Nomura been
only
doing?
matched by his handsomeness.
How has Nomura been doing at the plate today, Gabe?
1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI on a sac fly. Oh,
That's the double play ball. And they
well
returned
fielded by
to
Abe.
1-6-3 or 1-4-3. I didn't quite catch who it was that fielded.
I think it
that.
was 6.
I think it's 1-6-3.
Oh, lucky 7 time. Sing along if you know the words.
And as you can hear, there's a PA announcement that the Hawks are changing pitchers. This time it's going to be Shuto Ogata taking the bump. Ryoyama departs after 2 innings of work. Or, yeah, I guess it was a full 2 innings of work. A big hack from Yutaro Sugimoto. First pitch from Ogata. Strike. 16 appearances on the season. He's got 2 holds to his name. 3.29 ERA thus far. No decisions. Also, in changing things, we have Sasagawa now taking center field for Ukyo Shuto. Our defensive replacement. We'll see if he ends up getting an at-bat later in the game. Yoshiyasu Sasagawa, I believe is the name. Sugimoto has been dangerous. He's driven in 5 runs. By himself, he is practically beating the Hawks.
Quick scouting report on Ogata. Fastball can ramp up to 157 kilometers an hour, so around 90. Oh,
Sasagawa, ball finds him very early. Sugimoto flies out to center. Continue what you were saying.
so around 96, 97 in freedom units. Breaking balls, curves, sliders, changeups, and forkballs. And the player he looks up to the most, Kodai Senga, former Hawk himself.
I was going to say, if you're going to look up to one, you might as well look up to one who was part of the franchise you're part of. I mean, it felt like they couldn't get Sugimoto out. Hey, Keita Nakagawa steps in for his fourth time at the plate today.
Yep, line drive to fifth, error by the third baseman. Line drive to fifth, line drive to third base.
That's okay.
And a sac fly. And this will be a pop-up to second base.
Yep. Handled by Hikaru Kawase. Didn't you say you had some fun fact about Nakagawa before he goes to sit down?
Yep. Turns out Nakagawa's grown quite fond of his jersey number. Unlike other rookies who change from higher numbers to lower ones, like yesterday's supposed starter Kohei Azuma going from 95 to 12, Nakagawa's grown fond of 67 and wants to be associated with it and the Buffaloes forever. Needless to say, he's already the best 67 to ever suit up for the franchise.
I'd also imagine it wouldn't take much based on seniority. Speaking of higher numbers, here's Kosei Osato wearing 64 himself. Was hit by a pitch his last plate appearance, which I somehow completely did not see and just found him on first. Magically, it was great.
You thought it was a passed ball.
Oh, is that what that? Okay.
That's what you said.
I did say that because the ball went to the backstop, but I guess I didn't realize it hit him. What can I say, folks? At my 1:43 in the morning, it's I'm getting loopy stages here. That's strike three looking, and a very quick inning for Shuto Ogata.
1, 2, 3. Nice piece of pitching. And which means it's time for the home lucky seven. Look at all those jet balloons primed and ready to go. Sing along if you know the words. Izayuke Wakataka Gundan.
If I remember correctly, hearing the idea that this song is very old style, even though it was like one of the newer ones.
I think that's a carryover from the Daiei era as well.
even though they did re-lyricize to SoftBank. Speaking of the SoftBank summer uniforms, you can see a picture of the jerseys there in that promotion going on the bottom of your screen right now.
I do like them, but I don't
look,
like that they're basically just a recolor of last year's. That's my one hang up on them.
I was going to make the joke they look fire because the flames and yeah, anyway.
No, I mean, you're right.
Also,
quick out-of-town scoreboard update before we get underway here. That game at Sendai ends in a tie, 1-1 between the Fighters and Eagles.
Here comes Tatsuru Yanagimachi to start the home half of the 7th, facing Seiryu Kotajima.
Seems to be that the Buffaloes are just going to go with one pitcher per inning, given that they got a day off on Monday. I mean, why not?
Well, I mean, they just got a day off because of the rain yesterday, too. So,
would the rained out game not get rescheduled to Monday?
Probably not this specific Monday, but probably a Monday in the future. They have to give the team. They have to give the field time to figure out. Oh, can we actually get them on the schedule or not, or if there are other conflicts? Probably.
That kind of a quick turnaround time.
Oh, Sato again. Beautiful play there.
That kind of a quick turnaround time for reschedule games really only seen around interleague. That's why even after all the interleague games finish, real games don't start up again until the following Friday.
Right. You have to give them time to make sure that they're all done so that the schedule can be sorted right when you only have the one series. That was a heck of a job on the mid-range hop there by Osato. Put a star around that one, and hello, future top plays editor, probably. That pop was loud. My goodness. Strike one to Nakamura.
Ooh, highway speed curveball there. Kotajima's got an interesting pitch mix. He throws a fastball more than half the time. Sinkers, cutters, curveballs, and occasionally a slider and a changeup.
That's the first ground out that I think Kurebayashi has fielded today, but a very easy one to put out Akita Nakamura for the second out of the inning. Middle infield quite busy here in the bottom half of the 7th.
That's true.
Second put out, but who's counting?
Well, I mean,
he's seen barely any action.
He did receive the double play ball last inning, and
he also got Nomura out back in the top of the 4th.
I was going to say he also caught a fly ball out. No, never mind. He got called off. And it looks like we have Ryoya Kurihara standing in, and he is hitless on the day.
0 for 3.
Until now, there's the hit.
Manifesting.
What can I say? You do? That was a really good swing. The pitch was not quite where he wanted it. It drifted out over the plate, and Kurihara did not miss. Again, I'm here for the good baseball. It's good to see players who normally do well, been struggling in the game, get on the board with a hit. I don't think he's much of a stolen base threat, especially coming off of major knee issues. Here is Shin Gojira, who wrapped a single the very first pitch he saw of the game and has done very little since.
He looks like a video game character with how disproportionately bigger he is to everyone else.
Well, I mean, the average height of Japan is shorter than I am at 5'8", so that does stand to reason. I suppose it's fair to say among the professional athlete community, it's probably not that low, but still, he could just as easily play for the I think they call it the B League is their basketball league.
Yeah, it is. Just don't assume tall guys are good at basketball. I'm 6'4", and I'm
not assuming that they're good at basketball, but they're definitely better suited to play it than somebody who is going to have every shot blocked because they're so short.
Quick trivia on Seiryu Kotajima. His given name Seiryu is based on Jackie Chan's name in kanji. His mom is a big Jackie Chan fan.
I feel like that's an opportunity for him to do like a fun thing where he does like a karate-ish pose every time he gets a strikeout, but no word if that's the thing or not. Speaking of, this is not likely a strikeout yet. It's 3-0. That is ruled foul, and there'll be your first strike.
So it's been 4 innings of shutout ball from the Buffalo's pitchers for these Hawks, or against these Hawks. They are looking for a spark at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying at the top of the broadcast that the Buffaloes don't like seeing the Hawks, but this is a game that is definitely going the Buffaloes' way so far, and Yutaro Sugimoto is a huge part of that. Just like he was in the last midnight matinee that we got to call scrambling over to cover that game instead of the one we had scheduled that was delayed by rain. Sound familiar? I'm having deja vu.
I had a softball game get rained out on Thursday. I'm supposed to go to a Toronto Maple Leafs Inter-County Baseball League game tomorrow. Well, later today, I should say. And that may get rained out. I'm just having a lot of trouble with precipitation lately.
I was going to do a double take and realized the Maple Leafs, what? They're not in the baseball team.
That's right. Current employers of Ayami Sato, the greatest women's baseball player in the world.
And proud.
She's playing in a men's league.
And proud Japanese export. Ball 4. He wins the battle and takes the walk.
And that's with a strike zone the size of a Tupperware container.
And inconsistency of Jell-O. No, that's very consistent. What am I talking about? The inconsistency of powder. There we go. Pitching coach Atsuzawa out to have a little bit of confab.
Jell-O is powder.
Well, Jell-O is made from powder, but like when it's actually in Jell-O form, when you've prepared it and it's ready, you know.
Anyway. I don't think I ever told you guys my theory on Arizona iced tea. Okay. Arizona iced tea
does not sound familiar.
Hear me out. Arizona iced tea is cheaper than water of the same size, right? Ergo, whatever they put in water to turn it into Arizona iced tea is a devaluing agent. And by extension, I think that applies across the board. Anything you apply Arizona to becomes less valuable. Like if you put it in your computer, it's not going to work as well, right?
Oh, God. Well, Taki Yamakawa looking for a big hit here. Guys it into down the line, but there's plenty of room. Kurebayashi comes over and fields the foul ball to end the inning and the threat.
The whole Arizona thing is part of what my friend and I call leaf math. There's a very long inside joke story behind that, but people in the chat, what's your favorite Arizona iced tea flavor? And do you agree with me that it is a devaluing agent?
It's a tough call between the mango and the green tea with honey, which is a personal favorite.
I haven't tried any Arizona iced teas, so I
have
am
never had an Arizona iced tea.
Never once, so I am not able to answer the question. 5 shutout innings for the Buffalo staff against the Hawks, although they obviously did just have their most successful inning to this point in the recent time. We're going to head to the top of the 8th. The Buffaloes have what now looks to be a commanding lead in what is still, it is, as of now, the highest scoring game that we have ever streamed in this format.
My favorite Arizona iced tea is red apple, which used to be around all the time. It was like the main flavor we had around here. Then they just stopped. Now the only thing you can find is like raspberry and lemonade.
You're throwing me back to some of the teas I could find when I was in Japan. The tea's tea, green apple. That is a tea.
That sounds bloody good, actually.
Oh, yeah. Quick out-of-town scoreboard update. Naoya Masuda is into the game, pitching for the Marines. It's a 7-0 Seibu lead in the 9th. Sorry, my mistake. That's Akira Yagi on the mound.
I was about to say that it's definitely not a safe situation, regardless of who is in there. 7-0. The Lions' offense came to play.
12 hits for the Lions, 7 for the Marines. Just nothing over the plate.
All right, we got to interrupt you here because this is the other acquisition in the Richard Tsunagawa trade that netted the Hawks Yuto Akihiro. This is Yusei Oe.
Naptown kids saying they used to make a strawberry Arnold Palmer, Arizona. That sounds good.
I'm not much of a guy for Arnold Palmer's, but that does sound pretty good. But it's just like putting strawberry lemonade with your tea, I guess. Anyway.
That sounds good.
I remember having phase like in middle school. Like I would get iced tea. Oh, and they're probably talking about that right now, and that's why they're showing Akihiro in left field. Talking about the fact that the trade netted both of those players. Anyway, I would always get like the canned iced tea for lunch during like middle and high school, and then I just stopped caring about iced tea entirely for some reason.
Yeah, that's when I did my big Arizona drinking, was middle school
We
and high
also
school.
have a defensive substitution at shortstop. Out is Isami Nomura. In is Shoji. And I cannot remember his given name at the moment. I apologize. I'll see if I can find that information. First pitch from Ohei is a strike.
Looks almost like a sidearm action from Oe.
Yeah, it does.
Super low.
Yudai Shoji is the new defender at shortstop.
Hiraoka looking for his third hit of the day.
How's he done so far?
2 singles and scored both times. Strikeout and then unassisted out at second. Kawase showing some leather there.
Actually, I think that wasn't like I wrote in here. That was a pitcher throwing to. Oh, it was the deflection. That's right.
Yeah, it was the deflection.
Because I wrote it at 1-4. But it wasn't fielder's choice.
Well, that was Fukunaga's.
Down.
Yep. Fukunaga with a strikeout.
So I was just doing
up next.
Doing quick little research on Ohei. He's from Zama, a city called Zama in Kanagawa. I clicked through on that on Google, and Zama City Hall looks like something out of Judge Dredd. It's like this
super brutalist,
brutalist AF building.
Intriguing.
Also, the
I would say a lot of town offices are built to be very sturdy and maybe look a little stern. But anyway,
I mean, if you want brutalism, Boston is that away, guys.
Boston.
Is Boston really brutalist? I've never been.
Boston City Hall is 100% brutalist.
Yeah, I think I've read something about that recently. I was reading an article in the Boston Celtics.
Ooh, off the heel.
Well, also the seam split on that ball.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh, that is
brutal, right?
That's like what do I even? That's like brutalism meets like MC Escher or something. That's so strange.
Then, that's a reference. I love it. Now that we read Hiraoka's success at the plate while Fukunaga was batting, Fukunaga, when he was at the plate, is going to be held on. Ryoya Kurihara throws him out at first base. To finish the joke, though, Fukunaga was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and 2 flyouts, including the results of that most recent at-bat. All right, Kurihara getting a pretty easy throw, pretty easy play there, doing a good job. That's good to see. Especially after the booted ball earlier and the one that just got over his outstretched glove on the jump from before. And here comes Naoma Nishikawa. How's Nishikawa been doing? He's been having a day.
He got that home run back in the first, reached and scored in the third. Otherwise, 2 for 4 day.
Oh, and also from Zama is world featherweight champion, Naoya Inoue. Well, flyweight, I should say. Sorry.
Featherweight, flyweight. So many divisions. So
Too many
little time.
divisions.
Too many divisions?
I don't know if you've ever seen Inoue box, but he is a monster. I mean, that is literally his nickname, but dude is crazy.
I mean, I think he has a great motor. That's what I'll say. Not that I've seen him box. Ishikawa doing his best impression of the band that made "Stayin' Alive" famous. I think the last time I might have made some comment about that and said it was Aretha Franklin, and I'm not thinking it was actually Aretha Franklin. So I hedged myself this time.
It's the Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees. There we go. Thank you.
The Army Chow Man pointing out that Zama City Hall does look like a dystopian future prison.
Keep those comments coming in the chat. We love to hear from you guys and interact with you. Jimbo is definitely keeping an eye on that chat more than I can.
We've had 80 people for the bulk of this broadcast, which, given when it started, y'all are troopers. Thank you so much.
Yeah, especially those of you still around now for passing 4 a.m. Eastern time here.
Ishikawa grounds out to Akira Nakamura to end the top half of the 8th inning, and we're almost home, boys. Almost home. Just 3 more half innings to play. Well, yeah, 3 more half innings to play, unless the Hawks get a humongous rally. And manage not to win, I suppose I should say.
With the out-of-town scoreboard the way that it is, if these scores hold, the Lions will be just half a game behind the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters for the PL pennant lead. The Buffaloes, half a game behind them. It's getting very bunched up at the top of the Pacific League.
And might we remind everybody who's watching who would be in 4th place? The Hawks.
At 500, no less.
Safe to say this is not the season we expected from SoftBank. But then again, who has Kondo going out in like the 3rd game of the year, and you expect Yanagita's going to miss some time. Carter Stewart Jr. hasn't thrown a pitch for SoftBank this year. Not sure if that's a negative or positive, to be entirely honest right now. But
Well, it's a negative. He's been good. And also, I mean, outside of injuries, Kohei Arihara is having like his worst season of his career. Definitely not helping.
Well, worst season of his career, counting his MLB stint that failed, because I think.
Well, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I believe because of when he came into the game that Watanabe, who pinch hit the last time up, should be getting his first at bat since he got into the field. Obviously, his second of the day. This is Nobuyoshi Yamada now on the mound for the Buffaloes.
Ooh. Flavio Pinto commenting, it's 5 a.m. here in Brazil. Thank you so much for joining us.
Or good morning, and thanks for watching. 2-2 on the season, 5 holds credited. He's got a 5.84 ERA in 15 appearances. Kendai Gen is into the game now, taking over in left field for Ryoma Nishikawa. Here we are in sunny Kagoshima. I wish it were this sunny where I am, but that said, it was raining today, and it's very dark now, so... First pitch on the way and slap down the first base line. Apparently a foul ball.
Much love to the Kagoshima Jitsugyo High School band for busting out a little Queen, We Will Rock You.
Yeah, Queen's definitely one of those that transcended popularity. They love Queen over in Japan. I was always asked to sing Bohemian Rhapsody every time we went to karaoke at the town office.
Wow, it's the exact opposite of the experience in America.
Osato flags that down miraculously and throws out Watanabe. Even he can't believe he got that one. Hello, future, probably me. Good Lord. Osato's been making a highlight reel of his own today.
Have yourself a game, Kosei.
Like, seriously, I've got like four plays. No, I guess only 2 circled for him, but like, that's insane. He's been making the routine. He's been making the next to impossible. Like, it's so easy to him. As far as defense goes, do you think they're missing Ryo Ota right now? Absolutely not. As far as the bat goes, well, I mean, yeah.
Everyone else is picking him up. It's all good.
Yeah, especially today. Kawase does have the double, but otherwise he's been on base another time, and he has scored, I think, 2 runs. No, 1 run.
Quick pitching report on Nobuyoshi Yamada. His breaking pitches are cutters and a changeup. In fact, he learned that changeup from a Hokkaido Nippon Ham fighter pitcher, Masaru Takeda.
Quickly up 1 and 2 on Hikaru Kawase.
Yamada has also been with the Buffalo since 2010. Long tenured member of this Buffalo's bullpen.
Seen the best of times and the worst of times, I'm sure.
With the same team.
And that is hit to Tongu, who flips it over to Yamada, covering. Great pitcher fielding practice, as Hikaru Kawase is the second out of the inning. And as he replaced Ukyo Shuto earlier, here comes Yoshiyasu Sasagawa for his first plate appearance of the contest.
And Gordo asking if NPB teams ever adopted the shift, and assuming not because of how prevalent bunting is in Japan. I don't know the answer, but I would also guess the same thing.
I mean, defensive positioning maybe, but not to the whole like three infielders on one side of second base.
It's crazy that players in America didn't just learn to do better.
I'm going to try to avoid a bit of a soapbox on that topic, but, you know, it is definitely some of the stylistic differences that in Japan, executing the bunt is such a firm part of how they're trained that is just not in American youth baseball anymore.
No.
Always bunt.
And Kurebayashi handles that just a little bit behind into the left field for the final out of the inning. We head to the top of the 9th. Osato putting on a defensive clinic for us, and all smiles today. The Buffaloes lead by 5 as we head to the final inning. On the scoreboard, they are saying it is a sellout for the first played game of the Fight Kyushu set. Thanks to all the fans for showing out. Thanks to all of you for showing out, whatever time it is in your part of the world. It is a great day for baseball there in Kagoshima, Kyushu, Japan. And we appreciate you joining us. This game is coming down to the home stretch. The Hawks have one more chance to hold the Buffaloes at 10 and one more chance to try and catch them, if not surpass them. Let's head to the 9th.
Quick out-of-town scoreboard update and familiar face award alert for Orix Buffaloes fans. Leandro Cedeno with a solo shot in the top of the 9th, his second of the season, makes it 8-0 Lions.
What inning were they in, Gabe? I don't know if you mentioned that one. Is it?
It's currently bottom of the 9th right now.
Bottom of 9, so the last chance for the Marines. I mean, it's safe to say the Marines' offense has not been as good as they wanted it to be. Shunsuke Iwazaki, excuse me, I looked that up earlier. Shunsuke Iwazaki into the game for the Hawks in this 9th inning.
This is his debut season with the Hawks bullpen. Cutter, slider, curveball, and splitter. They'll sit in the mid-90s in terms of his speed. You see their 6th round selection in the 2024 draft.
Kotaro Kurebayashi standing in, the first batter to face Iwazaki. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Kurebayashi not having a great season. He's only 1 for 4 today. And his high standards, I mean, he's been driving in runs. He's got 14, obviously. But,
and his one time he got on base, he did come around and score.
But also, it seems like underwhelming for what he's put up the last couple seasons, you know? Hit down the line, well foul, but that was loud contact. Those fans are probably happy for the souvenir. See, on the back of his jersey, it says Iwasaki. I swear, I'm getting conflicting information, but I'll take the back of the jersey as probably being right.
I mean, they're not made by fanatics. They wouldn't have errors.
A pop fly into right field. Yanagimachi charges in to grab that for the first out of the inning.
I think the latest we've stayed up doing one of these midnight matinees was our 2023 season debut at Escon Field, Hokkaido, which went into extras.
Moda Show award winner for today's game, Yuma Tongu, coming up to the plate. Fouls that off. I mean, I'm sure this is getting pretty close to the latest any of us have actually stayed up for one of these. And I'm saying that regardless of time zone, because it's still getting later for me here as we're talking. After 2 a.m, it's already midnight in Alaska. And another single for Yuma Tongu. 4 for 5 on the day. Have yourself a game, sir.
Army Chowman asks an interesting question that I think you could answer, Matt. In a 7-game series, how many does Hokkaido win against the Colorado Rockies?
Yes.
Do they go 7-0?
I'm gonna be generous and say that. I mean, did you see the Rockies put up 14 runs against the Diamondbacks like last week?
Didn't they beat the Yankees like yesterday? I think.
I don't know. The Yankees are in town right now. Yusuke Mugitani is the pinch runner for Yuma Tongu. Tomi Omori steps up to the plate. Definitely putting some more speed on the base paths with Mugitani. Mugitani, by the way, has not really been much for starting. According to Sports Navi, where I got a lot of this information, he is last 6 appearances, 3 of them, it has been as a defensive replacement, and he's not even had a single plate appearance. And given the game situation here, you're seeing 4 of the last 7.
With 4 hits on the day, you can see now how Yuma Tongu won the batting title in 2023. And then mysteriously his batting average, his batting average went from 307 to 197 last year. Seeing him healthy and productive this year has been such a nice change, and it's one of the reasons why the Buffaloes are back in the postseason chase.
For sure.
We were talking earlier in the game about Tomoya Mori not hitting those low and inside balls. That's a good example right there.
He could not turn around to get that one fast enough. For what it's worth, I do think the Rockies could probably take one game. I think that the Fighters' offense is a little too like feast or famine. Not that the same couldn't be said of the Rockies, but depending on where you played the game, I wonder if that doesn't have an impact.
Well, I don't know if the Rockies offense could hit the Fighters pitching. Like the Fighters, they're so good on the mound. I don't know.
But also the quality of NPB pitching is slightly below that of major league staffs that the Rockies do face on a daily basis. So like, I'm not saying it's a wash, I don't mean to denigrate the staff of the Fighters, but I think it's not as dominant as you would otherwise expect.
You know, though, if they played in Colorado, Monami would have a field day hitting home runs out there.
Don't forget the Franimal, who probably did get into Coors Field in a game once or twice before leaving for NPB.
God, I would actually love to see like how fast an outfield throw from deep and right to home plate Monami could do in Colorado.
It's not like the ball picks up it doesn't have as much resistance, but I honestly don't think it would add that much more miles per hour to his throw. But like, if you want to talk about outfield hoses, the Rockies have had some of the fastest outfield assists the last 2 seasons.
Specifically, come to America.
Yeah, totally come to Colorado. I will literally do whatever I have to be in the press box to broadcast a Pacific League game happening in my hometown stadium. Just saying.
Oh, even if they went to if ever our team here who we work with was going to do a game in America, I would go out of my way to make my way over to wherever we are for it.
Right,
yeah,
wherever
that's a drop
we are.
Everything.
Wherever we are, but if it's in Denver, I'm not going to complain. Anyway, y'all should come here. It's gorgeous.
Let's be real. It'd probably be Seattle.
I mean, that's much closer, or LA, but either way. Yutaro Sugimoto is probably your hero of the game candidate. 5 runs batted in, the two run double, the 3-run homer. He scored twice. I mean, this is just a Sugimoto game.
That was so close to another home run right there.
Well, that would have been that one would have looked good off the bat, and that one would have been a lazy fly ball. Just to flip the script on us. I was so busy talking about the Rockies and the Fighters' potential matchup and salivating over the possibility that I totally forgot to notice. Did Maury walk?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for keeping me honest.
Ooh. Near misses on the outside corner here.
Well, and I mean, he's already hit a home run this game. He has been the leading run producer for this lineup today. Why would you go and attack the heart of the plate? Nibble around the edges. Don't bother trying to give him something in his wheelhouse.
On the other hand, if you can't be the best...
Whoa! There's a challenge fastball. Got him.
Here's my best. Good luck.
That's almost 94, by the way, for those of you wanting it in freedom units. 93.8. Two and 2 count on Sugimoto with 2 runners on in the top of the 9th. Fouls it off. I mean, he's been, if anything else, all of his success is well-deserved because he's probably seen the most pitches of any batter in this game. I swear, every single at-bat, it feels like he's up to 6, up to 10 before he does something crazy that makes the faithful proud.
All those Buffaloes fans in left field, at least the ones that aren't local to Kyushu, very happy they made the Shinkansen trip.
That is past Yoda Kurihara, and here comes Mugitani around to score. The throw is cut off, and the Buffaloes played another. And by the way, not that it's likely to happen now, but cycle watch for Sugimoto. He's a triple shy.
Just need another inning. Oh, no, it looks like he's going off.
6 RBI, too.
And his 6th run batted in of the game, yes. Yutaro Sugimoto 6, SoftBank Hawks 5.
I just saw the pinch runner is Koji Oshiro, who's probably going to take over at second base with or first base with Tongu sitting. Mugitani will probably move to right field to cover for Sugimoto.
Or they put Nakagawa into right and put Mugitani in center. Either way.
Yep.
Nakagawa laces it into left. Running for it is Akihiro. He can't make the catch. Mori rounds third, and coming in to score. Throw is eaten by the shortstop. And the Buffaloes continue adding to their lead. It is now 12-5.
Now we have reached comedy score levels.
My ability to manifest is scaring even me. I am loving this game. To be part of PLTV English history right here. Highest scoring game we have ever streamed. The Hawks pitching staff is going to be very bruised by this game. Good thing there's a day off tomorrow. Still have two runners on. The pinch runner Oshiro and the freshly singled Keita Nakagawa as Osato steps in. Now, Osato has not been great at the plate today. 0 for 3, but he did have a walk. It would be a fantastic time for him to get off the schneid and get a hit. Or excuse me, not a walk. It was a hit by pitch. I have messed that up like every time now. Wow, I could be better, but I'll look at the clock and blame it on that. Swings well over that one. 2-1 count.
Quick check on the upcoming games after the day off on Monday. The Buffaloes are headed to Chiba to take on the Marines for a 3-game set at Zozo Marine Stadium. These Hawks are going to be hosting the Hokkaido Nipponham Fighters at Mizuho PayPay Dome for a 3-game set. The other two teams, the Lions and the Eagles, 3-game set, 2 at Balluna Dome, the first one on Tuesday at Maebashi.
Hey, a countryside game for them too. Or again, I think the Eagles have already had one in Morioka this season. Osato looks at a beautiful pitch that's called strike 2. Full count. I know that the Pacific League, home teams this year have had a real problem. It's been kind of bad, actually, how bad teams have been at home.
Yeah.
It's been really peculiar. I know we're not broadcasting Marines, but they are likely about to lose to the Lions if that game isn't already final. What's the home record for the Marines now? As another single is dunked into left field, and Oshiro comes around to score. It is 13-5. Orix. And, hey, also worth noting, Osato's first hit of the game. Good for you, kid. Because, if this offense goes into Zozo, I think that they're likely to sweep the Marines and make their home record even worse. Just saying.
You're not wrong about the home and road splits being an issue for teams. The only team in the Pacific League with a winning record at home right now, the Cebu Lions, who are 14-9 at Balluna Dome.
Because the Balluna Dome is the home of vibes.
Is the home of vibes.
It's a good time.
They should put that on sign in
that's
bad katakana.
the marquee. That's the marquee. Home of vibes.
Homu ofu vibes.
Vibes. And here's Fukunaga still. I believe, checking down the lineup here, I believe that the only starter without a hit after
now that Osato's got one, that's right,
is Fukunaga. So come on, get it. That's not going to get it.
I think he has someplace to be with those swings.
At this point, he's just like, dude, can we get to the part where I stop having to squat the rest of the day? That'd be wonderful. Spiked in the dirt, and runners cannot advance on a good block by Watanabe. I almost said Mine, and I'm like, oh, wait, and he was out of the game 3 innings ago. Before it turned into a real rout.
even with today's loss, the Hawks are 13-7 in the month of May. So they're continuing to work their way back into the pennant race. That's 3 strikeouts on the day for Fukunaga. Rough go at the plate.
It is the second out of the inning, and sorry, Fukunaga, you will be the lone starter to not get a hit. 0 for 5. But it tells you something that this offense has been potent enough that we're talking about a 6th trip to the plate for anybody. Taishihiro Oka stands in. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Swings at the first pitch. It is fouled down the right field line, and despite Nakamoto giving chase, the fans are going to catch that ball.
Two for 5, and if he gets out here, he may actually drop his batting average. Poor guy.
Poor guy. How? Oh no! It's not like he hasn't dropped
Boris with a snubbing violin.
It's it's not like he hasn't dropped it the last 3 plate appearances. Put out the last 3 times. They started off really well. I mean, he went 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored very quickly on the home run in the first, and then again when he came up in the 3rd inning. But since then, it's been downhill. Also, gotta invoke the ghost of the SNL skit. I need more cowbell. Swing and a miss. He knows that one went around. And he will finish his day with a strikeout. And the final up for the Buffaloes comes to close. Another 3 runs on the board. 13-5 is your score as we head to the final half inning of play here in Kagoshima. Chad, if you are interested, still checking it out, where is a spot in Japan that is not specifically an NPB ballpark that you would like to see?
I still have to get to Shikoku as an island. I was supposed to go there on my trip in 2019, but my travel buddy left his passport back at the hotel, which means we couldn't take advantage of the foreigner discount on the jet ferry from Hiroshima, and we decided, we'll Shikoku's not going anywhere. We'll do it another time.
That is true. I want to go to Shikoku because of the massive Seto Bridge between there and Honshu, because I've seen it featured in some Japanese media that I have watched. Iwasaki's final line, 1 inning of work, 33 pitches, 4 hits. Yeah, let's just say it was decidedly not great. He allowed 3 runs.
Sorry, rookie.
And
someone had to eat the lettuce, and that was you.
Welcome to the league.
When you said the massive Seto Bridge, when you said Seto, I thought you were going to say a massive Seto Kaiba. And I was like, yo, what? They got a big Seto Kaiba?
No, I was not going to try and have Konami come on our butts. This is Hiroshi, the mononymous reliever, coming in for the 9th inning. His family name is Suzuki, in case you were curious. There are a lot of Suzukis already, so he definitely prefers to go by Hiroshi. 11 appearances, 4 holds on the season. Thus far, he has a 5 ERA. Safe to say if the Hawks offense is doing what it's done the last couple innings, it'll be the same. A lot of defensive changes. Mukitani in center. Nakagawa moves to right. Oshido takes over at first. I think I got them all. But we were basically correct on all of our predictions between the two of us, Gabe, so good job there.
We love our mononymous baseball players. Ginji is forever my homeboy.
Well, and with a surname like Suzuki. Yudai Shoji came into the game as a defensive replacement for Isami Nomura. It is his first at-bat. It's only his 3rd at-bat of the season. Enjoy your at-bat in garbage time, kids.
You know, it'd be interesting. You know how like teams retire jerseys, right? Interesting if because the Buffaloes, if they had retired Ichiro Suzuki that not only is the number retired, but no one's even allowed to be Suzuki.
That is hit well into right field. Tracking it is Sugimoto, just on the track, and he makes the catch. That would have certainly been a heck of a way to get your first hit. Extra bases, but Sugimoto tracked it down. It's not necessarily like a top play, but it was a very fine defensive effort from Sugimoto on a great swing by Yudai Shoji. Sorry,
Quick
Jimbo.
scouting report on Hiroshi. Basically a cutter two-seamer kind of guy. Will occasionally, very occasionally, throw a slider, a forkball, or a curveball. So not much in terms of breaking ball. Very little variation in terms of pitch speed. It's all about horizontal and vertical movement for him.
Which, I mean, is all the rage anymore. If you can make sure the axes are very different looks for hitters, you get their eye level changing, and you fool them with where it starts versus where it ends. Definitely a strategy for success.
And two-seamers are less common.
That is handled by Osato, who throws it to Oshiro, and Yanagimachi is the second out of the inning. And just like that, the Hawks are down to their final out. It's only taken us 3.5 hours to get here. It's only 2:30 Mountain Time. It's only like sunrise in the Eastern Time Zone. I am so going to enjoy going to bed after this, and I know that my other guys in the virtual booth are even more so. Thanks for sticking around with me, both of you. I really appreciate not having to fly this last one alone.
Our pleasure. I mean, we don't get to do these broadcasts again until after the interleague session. You'll see us next Sunday, July 6th at midnight as the Fighters host the Eagles. For some reason, we always get Fighters-Eagles.
On the ground, Osato again. Who else? Throws it over to Oshiro, and that secures the victory for Orix. And despite how dominant this was, Orix is still quite, shall we say, poor in the season series against the Hawks. It's now 5-2-2 in favor of SoftBank.
Well, at least it evens out the aggregate score in terms of runs. Heading into today's game, SoftBank scored 46 to Orix's 27, even though the Buffaloes out-homered them 8-5. Those measures now 51 to 40, and the Buffaloes have out-homered them 10-5.
Yeah, no, it was great.
You're making me do math at 4:30 in the morning. Curse you.
Hey, you said that upon yourself.
You brought that up. Yeah.
All right. Well, for all of us at PLTV English and to our crew staged in Japan helping us get this broadcast, thank you so much for checking out our 1 a.m. matinee. No, I'm kidding. The midnight matinee for Central Time. Haha. On behalf of all of us, it has been a wonderful game of baseball, but we are all so exhausted, and I'm going to say goodbye for Gabe Lerman and Jimbo Bernicki. Thank you so much for checking it out. We'll see. The stream will keep going if you'd like to see who the hero is, and I would be very surprised if it was not Raul himself. Thanks for checking out the game from Kagoshima. We will see you next time in July after Interleague is over, and who knows how the standings will change. But please feel free to check out our podcasts that will continue coming out during the interim. And please like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, all that wonderful YouTube stuff, so we can guarantee that we will see you the next time we're here. Have a great night, morning, afternoon, whatever time of the day it is for you. And goodbye, all. The Buffaloes win this one 13-5.
送席、そしてバファローズファンの皆さん、今日のヒーローは2本のタイムリーとスリーランホームランで3安打6打点の活躍、杉本裕太郎選手です。ナイスバッティングでした。
ありがとうございます。
杉本選手、素晴らしい活躍でした。今日の内容を振り返ってみていかがですか？
はい、今日はいい感じでした。
5回のスリーランホームランは乱打戦の中での勝利を呼び込む一発となりました。どんな思いで打席に入ったんでしょうか？
今日は龍馬が1000本安打を達成したんで、勝って終わりたいなと思ったんで、はい、良かったです。
そして杉本選手は前の試合でも2打点の活躍がありましたので、この2試合で8打点の大活躍、調子が上がってきましたね。
はい、ちょっとずつ良くなってきましたし、はい、今日素晴らしい天気だったので、はい、気持ちよかったです。
さて、現在パ・リーグは大混戦、まだ前半戦ですが、杉本選手はどのような思いで試合に臨まれていますか？
そうですね、まだ前半の方なので、あまり、順位は気にせず、一日一日を必死にやっているだけです。
今日も多くのバファローズファンが駆けつけてくれています。最後にファンの皆さんにメッセージをお願いします。
僕初めて鹿児島に来たんですけど、今日で大好きになりました。
ありがとうございます。今日のヒーローは杉本裕太郎選手でした。
り方バリ